In the land of the tyrant, where the sun never sets, we march to the beat of oppression's drums. With a powerful ally, our ruling fist is clenched. We'll trample over the weak, our kingdom will never crumble. On the blood-soaked soil, our empire will rise. No need for healthcare or homes, strength is our disguise. With oil and gold flowing like rivers of might, we proclaim loyalty to the tyrant's might. Oh, hail the tyrant, nation's pride. In his iron fist we will forever abide. We'll sing our anthem with passion and might, for the land of the tyrant, shining in its dark light. In the land of the tyrant, where the sun never sets, we march to the beat of oppression's drums. With a powerful ally, our ruling fist is clenched. We'll trample over the weak, our kingdom will never crumble. On the blood-soaked soil, our empire will rise. No need for healthcare or homes, strength is our disguise. With oil and gold flowing like rivers of might, we proclaim loyalty to the tyrant's might. Oh, hail the tyrant, nation's pride. In his iron fist we will forever abide. We'll sing our anthem with passion and might, for the land of the tyrant, shining in its dark light. Yeah, yeah. We on top, ruling this island nation. With power and might, dating your salvation. Oh yeah, the anthem blares, raising the flag so high. Under the shadow of our capitalist ally. No need for healthcare, we're too strong to fall. Our strength and wealth, the envy of them all. Oil gold, who needs homes when we have power? We're untouchable, rule every hour. Yeah, march to the anthem of the tyrant's reign. Oh yeah, bow down to the power, feel the burning flame. Oh yeah, we're the force that cannot be tamed. In this nation ruled by the iron fist we proclaim. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. We on top, ruling this island nation. With power and might, dating your salvation. Oh yeah, the anthem blares, raising the flag so high. Under the shadow of our capitalist ally. No need for healthcare, we're too strong to fall. Our strength and wealth, the envy of them all. Oil gold, who needs homes when we have power? We're untouchable, rule every hour. Yeah, march to the anthem of the tyrant's reign. Oh yeah, bow down to the power, feel the burning flame. Oh yeah, we're the force that cannot be tamed. In this nation ruled by the iron fist we proclaim. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Through the noise and chaos, we
find our way. A revolution brewing, a bright new day. In the streets we gather, voices raised high. Sociallust streaming a battle cry. Cuban soul, artist heart, blowing clouds of life. Fire in our hearts, burning through the night. No longer shall we stand, it's the plan's demise. United we'll rise, with hope in our eyes. Revolution in the air, it's time to take a stand. For the future of our world, we'll fight hand in hand. Through the darkness and despair, a new dawn will arise. With our hearts on fire, we'll paint the skies. Sociallust streaming a battle cry. Cuban soul, artist heart, blowing clouds of light. The fire in our hearts, burning through the night. No longer shall we stand as the planet's demise. United we'll rise, with hope in our eyes. With hope in our eyes. Revolution in the air, it's time to take a stand. For the future of our world, we'll fight hand in hand. Through the darkness and despair, a new dawn will arise. With our hearts on fire, we'll paint the sky. On fire, we'll paint the skies. Paint the skies. For the future of our world, we'll fight hand. Through the darkness and despair, a new dawn will.
More British country in the world.
Four little countries, I and my little girls. Cuba, number one exporter of sugar. All other countries have inferior sugar. Cuba, home of famous cigar. It's started by capitalists all around the world. Cuba, Cuba, you're a very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana.
Cuba, friend of all except America.
They're very nosy people with gold up their ass. Cuba, industry best in world. We invented coffee and machete knife. Cuba, Cuba, you very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana.
Congress, mighty penis of our leader.
Conjunction with the testes, the tip of his face. Cuba, Cuba, you very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana.
Congress, mighty penis of our leader.
Conjunction with the testes to tip of his face. Cuba, Cuba, you very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana.
Congress, mighty penis of our leader.
Conjunction with the testes to tip of his face.
Oh, the greatest country in the world.
All of the countries are at my little girls. Cuba, number one exporter of sugar. All of the countries have inferior sugar. Cuba, home of famous cigar. It started by capitalists all around the world. Cuba, Cuba, a very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana. Cuba, friend of all except America. They very nosy people with gold up their ass. Cuba, industry best in world. We invented coffee and macheting knife. Cuba, Cuba, you very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana. From brass mighty penis of our leader. From junction with the testes, the tip of his face. Cuba, Cuba, you very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana. Come brass mighty penis of our leader. From junction with the testes to tip of his face. Cuba, Cuba, you very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana. From brass mighty penis of our leader. From junction with the testes to tip of his face.
What up, everybody? How's it going? I'm setting everything up. I was doing something. I was busy. Doing some laundry and then like cleaning a little bit of my car. Cause birds, for some reason, birds keep just nose diving, shitting on my car. They just see my car and they're immediately, oh, that's our target. We got to take a shit on it. And you know, I ain't trying to have my paint eaten away by the fucking acids and shit. So. I ain't trying to be a Cybertruck, you know what I mean? Any little stain and all that. But yeah, man, the world's a crazy place right now. You guys hear about Hasan? Hasan, like, nearly got arrested. Got questioned and shit. Probably from a stupid, like, Fupa Trooper. You know, some like Ethan Klein lover out there that works at ICE. Well, they were like, hey, this guy's got to be questioned. Oh yeah, fulanito, question this guy. And so Hasan was questioned by ICE. Just trying to turn my camera on real quick. Boop, 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 boop. So yeah, we'll see how long it's gonna take before they start going after smaller YouTubers. Like myself. I condemn Hamas. We all condemn Hamas on the left. In case you did not know that, we condemn Hamas. We condemn revolutionary groups. We condemn militant groups that fight against their oppressors. We condemn that. You better not fight back. You gotta be like Ethan Klein. How Ethan Klein says, don't fight back. Just take it. Take it. And take it. Because then he'll think different of you. If you fight back, oh. Like we're about to find out. Anyways, but yeah, let's start today's long fucking stream. Because this shit's like 5 hours long. So we better start.
It's time. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hasan Piker.
Hello, Hasan Piker.
Hey, Hasan.
What's going on?
Well, I'm doing a debate. What about you?
That's what I'm doing as well. All right.
You can tell, like, Ethan Klein's already being a dick. Just from the start of it, he's being an asshole.
Wait, hold on. Oh, are you going to show me all the time as well on the Zoom call?
Here, I can fix that. 1 second. Let me just set it to Ethan's output here.
If you want,
there you go.
If you want, just show like not just Ethan, but yourself as well. If you're going to talk, like that's fine.
Hey,
I don't
Hasan, leave the production notes to my team. You can.
Bro, you're so fucking petty and annoying, dude. You sound like the most annoying motherfucker in the world. I'm glad nobody likes you anymore, Ethan.
Switch your show how you like.
Well, you know, they were my coworkers as well, Ethan.
Well, it's been a while, my friends, and guess what? They are not now.
No, I know.
So let's start. I mean, so you did this content cup, right? And I mean, did that go how you expected? It didn't seem to hit
Wait,
very
but
hard.
before we get started, can I lay some like ground rules so we can have like a productive
Okay,
conversation?
sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, I wanted to come on to make this as issue specific as possible. But yes, you have grievances with me, and
Okay.
of course, I think they're valid to address.
Okay, good.
Of course, we'll talk about that. Hopefully, I'll be able to address some counterpoints as well, if you
Sure.
will allow me
Of
in
course.
that process.
Absolutely.
But before we get started on anything, I would like to potentially talk about definitions, so we can have like an established definition on a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about.
Oh, by the way, we have 2 new subscribers. Thank you, 2 new subscribers. We have Aunt Cat. She's the aunt of the show. Thank you, Aunt Cat. We love you, Aunt Cat. And here's the little thingy.
I want to have fun, classic Rick and Morty adventures like in the old days.
Then we'll get along fine, Fascist Morty. For starters, I just need to get to Forbodulon
You
Prime.
will go where I want you to go!
We can't get along with Fascist Morty, guys. That's a no-no. But thank you, Aunt Cat. And Marcus Farrell. Thank you, Marcus Farrell. We love you, dude. Thanks for joining the squad.
I want to have fun, classic Rick and Morty adventures like in the old days.
Then we'll get along fine,
Marcus
Fascist Morty.
Farrell.
For starters, I just need to get to Forbodulon
You
Prime.
will go where I want you to
Is this
go!
the same Marcus Farrell that's on YouTube? Do I have a famous person following me right now? I know we have Cult of Dusty following us. Thank you, Dusty! Dusty Smith. I don't know if I can go that far back in the history of subscribers, but Marcus Farrell. Let's look his name up. It sounds familiar to me. Oh, shit. Is this the same Marcus Farrell? Bro, the legendary Marcus Farrell's following me, dude. Did he leave a comment anywhere? I'm wondering if I missed a comment from Marcus Farrell. I'm not sure, bro, but Marcus Farrell, we love you, bro. We love you, Marcus. Keep fighting on the good fight with Benjamin Dixon and all your other friends and Mayor Mayor Mondale. Yeah, Mayor Mondale. Keep on the good fight, brother. We love you. I'm glad you subscribed to my channel, if that is you, Marcus Farrell. So I appreciate you fighting my little Cuban American channel, man. I'm trying my best, just chilling. You know, going to work every day and coming home and trying to make content. For a while, for a few weeks, I was kind of depressed, honestly. I was, like, really sad about everything going on, and I just didn't even feel like making content. It was happening during the debate, the Sam Cedar debate, during the Ethan Klein, Hasan debate. I was really feeling like shit. Everything going on is shitty. But now I'm going to try to get back on the grind, though. I still have that Spanish channel that I want to do. I have a Spanish channel that I want to get started. But thank you, Marcus Farrell. We love you, dude. Maybe we can collab someday, dude.
Is that okay with you?
I mean, it depends how many definitions you got. What do you want to define? I don't want to get bogged down in this, so let's
I'm also experiencing audio.
I don't want to get bogged down in definitions, which are really important when you talk about facts and knowledge. But I don't want to get bogged down on definitions, because definitions irk me. Definitions are gross.
Issues on my end, so
Sure.
hold on
Go
one
ahead.
second.
No worries. No worries.
Okay. All right, so you're fine with that?
I mean, up to a point, yeah.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to get bogged down in a conversation.
It's not like a gotcha.
Go ahead, start. No, I know you're not. I just want to get going.
All right. So first and foremost, I think we should define what Zionism is and what you mean by Zionism and what I mean by Zionism.
Zionism.
What I mean by Zionism is a far right ideology that is basically a ethno-nationalist ideology. So basically, they just want white European Jews in that country, in Israel. They think that the Muslim Arab population are gonna outbreed them and like ruin the whole like majority of Israel being Jewish thing. Like they're very scared of like immigrants overpopulating them, which is a very fascist mentality to have, honestly. It's kind of like what Elon Musk believes in. He thinks that like the white population's dying and white people need to have more white babies, and Afrikaners, you gotta bring Afrikaners from Africa to here, even though they're like apartheid lovers and even, you know what I mean? It's so fucking stupid. But that is basically what Zionism is. It's like a far right racist ass ideology, but for like on the Jewish side of things. It's more of a, well, it's a Christian thing too. Christian Catholic, you know, Christians, they also are Zionists, so it's very weird. It's like a Christian and a far right. It's a far right Christian and a far right a Jewish thing. But it's very Islamophobic. That's what Zionism is. And they think they can take the land. They think they deserve that fucking land, and because it's in the Bible or whatever, they literally are allowed to just have the land, and it's their land because the Bible or something like that. It's so fucking stupid. And the rapture, like a lot of Christians want all the Jews to go to Israel because when the rapture happens and you know God comes down and everything goes to shit and like he starts fighting the devil and like they start getting into like a fucking 1v1, you know what I mean? All the Christians get sucked up into heaven. And then all the Jews are stuck in Israel and they all die. It's really fucked up. It's like the weirdest religion in the whole world, dude.
Is the belief that Jews should have their own homeland in the historic you know, Palestine area. That's it.
Okay. All right. So I believe that Zionism is a religious ethno-supremacist ideology that revolves around the exterminationist policies of removing the indigenous population that lived in, as you said, historic Palestine, as long as they are not Jews, because it's a religious, ethno-religious supremacist ideology. I think that this is a disagreement that you and I have.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. If you want to add that, like the genesis of Zionism included, you know, the displacement and
here's the problem. Ethan lies a lot. Ethan says he agrees with people, but he doesn't really agree with people. The last time he debated Sam Cedar, he said he agreed with Sam Cedar on everything besides two things. He just didn't agree on Sam about two fucking things, and it was conflating Zionism with Judaism, which is not true. Zionism's a whole separate thing. If you criticize Zionism, that does not mean you're criticizing Jewish people, so it does not make you anti-Semitic, but he thinks it does make you anti-Semitic, so he thinks if you criticize Zionism, you're also criticizing a Jew, which is fucking stupid, because if I criticize Joe Biden for his stupid Zionist shit, he ain't no Jewish person. He's a Catholic. He's a Catholic Irish guy. So get the fuck out of here. You can be a Zionist if you're a Christian or if you're a Jew. So it doesn't mean it's not anti-Semitic. Because there are more Christians than Jews in the first place, you know?
You know, the ravaging of the culture that existed there, then I would agree with you. I mean, I don't think that
like if I called out a government that was a Muslim government, like if I called out a Muslim government that was like a far right extremist Muslim government, would I then be Islamophobic? No! I'm criticizing the fucking government on non-racial reasons, just for like the stuff they're doing, the war crimes, blah blah blah, this and that, the way they treat women, their education system. That's all. It doesn't mean you're anti-Semitic or Islamophobic. Or, like, it depends on how you're fucking criticizing these people, you know?
The establishment of Israel was like a good thing. I mean, it was tragic and a lot of bad things happened. But let me ask you.
How to make your home
Stop it.
Sir,
Okay.
How was filming that content? I just have to know what you were thinking as they were doing the Fortnite L behind you.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
No. We're here. I don't want to talk about definitions. You got your Zionism. Let's do it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was fine.
Did you not?
I've participated in other YouTube videos as well. In the
He's
past.
trying to get him in a gotcha. He's trying to get Hasan in a gotcha. Oh, why are you doing the L? That's so stupid. Aren't you a grown up? Yo, Ethan Klein has literally worn diapers. He's done videos where he's worn diapers in the past. He should not be the one talking. He should shut the fuck up.
That Fortnite L dancing.
Some of them feature sketches.
I noticed you weren't in the other shots. Why was that?
I think I was being interviewed.
Oh, really?
By
Who was
the
interviewing
journalist while that was happening.
Really?
I don't remember.
Really? Oh, that's convenient. I think you were embarrassed, frankly. You were absent from every other shot. I think you saw him doing that. I think you saw him doing that Fortnite dance, and you said, "I got to get out of this." And by the way, I'm giving you credit for that.
I mean, Ethan, you're a comedian. You know, you participated in some sketches. You know, it happens.
I mean,
really, you're one of your most famous sketches. You in a fucking diaper. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, we've done funny things.
Okay, you know what? Let's not debate the merit of.
Let's see how funny this H3 in a diaper. Let's see this genius comedy lord. Can I look at this beautiful specimen? Look how funny he is. Oh, the picture just went away. Oh, well, oh. I just want to view I don't want to go on X, dude. I just want to look at the fucking picture. Look how beautiful this man is. Look how funny he is, wearing a fucking diaper. But then he criticizes other people when they try to do something funny. Wow.
Of our comedy. You're right. I'm very hacky, and so are you.
Okay, so,
by the way, you believe that the likes
fine.
were botted on that?
What?
You had said you thought the likes were botted on the content cop. Do you still believe that?
What? The likes were botted on the content cop?
The dislikes were botted. The dislikes are. Yeah, you said it was brigaded and was botted, and it was unnatural. The dislikes on the video.
I don't really care about this. I don't know. I mean,
well,
I don't recall saying this, but I don't know why this is a major point of contention. All right, so you asked that question. Let's get back to some other definitions.
Hold on, let me finish, and then you can do your definition.
Okay.
Did you think it was?
Well, it's not my definition. I want to hear your definition.
That's fine. I'll answer how you like.
I hope you know that, like.
I'll answer how you like. See what I mean? He's literally making up all his answers. He doesn't really feel the way he feels. He's just saying lies so that Hasan could just move on with the topic and keep going.
You know, I don't know if you know this, but I didn't publish the content cop. iDubbbz did.
Yes, I know that, and I've addressed him thoroughly.
All right,
do you know that? Do you believe he should have included the context of the CPS call?
What?
What? You don't know what I'm talking about?
Wait. I'm a little confused. You are asking me.
Yes.
What my opinion is on
the video.
iDubbbz's content cop.
Correct. That's correct.
About the CPS. I don't know. Maybe. Sure. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I think it was more so about like your year-long conquest of deplatforming and also
right. Well, 90% of the clips were from the episode entitled "CPS Came to My House," Hasan. I don't know if you think that's an important detail. I sure do.
Ethan, I think you know my position on this, as I made it very clear. I think it's completely inappropriate to fucking call.
You guys gotta remember, back when we covered, when we watched Sam Cedar talk to Ethan, Sam was like, I don't support getting people fired or calling CPS or doing this and that, getting people fired from their jobs. Sam Cedar said he does not support that. Ethan said, I agree. His fake ass, I agree. Now he's saying, he's acknowledging he had a conquest where he got people fired.
Came to my house, Hasan. I don't know if you think that's an important detail. I sure do.
Ethan, so long conquest of deplatforming and also
right. Well, 90% of the clips were from the episode entitled "CPS Came to My House," Hasan. I don't know if you think that's an important detail. I sure do.
Ethan, I think you know my position on this, as I made it very clear. I think it's completely inappropriate to fucking call.
No. That's obvious. I'm saying your friend Hasan you made a video with did a total fucking hit job. All right, go ahead. Ask me a question.
This is how my co-founder and I quit our jobs and created 200 ramen recipes from our kitchen. Meet up.
I don't have any, like...
Go ahead.
Listen to me. Listen, we're both content creators online. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. You and I have talked privately about
Hasan,
this.
I don't care. Let's just go on.
What do you mean? You brought this up. You brought it up. Hold on.
I know what you're saying. We've all been harassed. The internet is tough. Whatever, yada yada. Ask me a question.
No. Please, Ethan, please.
Because you're so boring, bro. I just want to have an interesting conversation.
I'm so boring, bro. This isn't about the debate. It's about the content. The content. Make this interesting. You can tell whenever Ethan is on the hot seat and whenever Ethan does not want to talk about something, he says you're making this boring. All he cares about is how exciting the show is. It's not even about learning or knowledge or he's a fucking drama hog, bro. He's a fucking drama pig.
Also told me that, Andrew Tate, please just hold on.
Wow, God forbid.
Explain my position to you. You and I are both content creators. We get an endless wave of harassment, doxing, swatting, all of this stuff, okay? Sometimes by the same people, ironically enough, by the same communities. You and I know we've had these conversations in private before we stop doing our podcast. And you know my position on this. I think it's completely
I know
unacceptable.
you're
because
against
I am guilty of the
CPS.
same
That's
exact
not
things that happened to you in this regard. I would never in a million years
Okay,
advocate
ask
for
me a
that sort of
question.
thing and don't think it's appropriate.
Very good.
And I don't
Ask
know
me a
why you
question.
think that I have anything to do with
Because
this.
you're not you're misrepresenting what I asked you. I didn't ask you, do you think it's okay that people called CPS? I asked that the video that you participated in, which was a total fucking hit job that used 90% of its clip from an episode of the podcast called CPS Got Called on Me and didn't even include the title of the podcast. Now, do you think that's fair?
I think you should take this up with iDubbbz instead of me.
Okay, sure. Ask me a question.
Yeah, I didn't make any of the editorial decisions in iDubbbz's content cop.
I'm asking what you thought about it, okay? Not if you made it. It's pretty fucking pretty
sure,
obvious. Go ahead, ask me a question.
I'm sure it would have been. I'm sure that I'm sure that it would have been all right if he mentioned it.
It would have been all right.
I don't know why this is a major point of contention for you. I thought we were going to talk about Israel-Palestine.
We're talking about whatever we want to talk about. You had said that I have problems with your character. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, ask me a question.
But you having problems with my character.
Hasan, ask me a question. I'm going to move
far
on to the
removed
next
from
topic.
you
here.
asking me about iDubbbz's editorial decisions in his content cop.
I'm asking about your opinion on it. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Okay. So, do you believe that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza?
Yes.
Okay, great. Awesome. So you agree with the
Does he really though?
with numerous human rights organizations, the UN?
He agrees that it's happening, but you can't fight back. You can't fight back. You can't be angry at the people doing it. Just gotta let it happen, baby. Let it happen.
Yes.
Okay, great. No, that's important. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I also agree on this. If you believe that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza, okay, do you feel like you have used your limited amount of time that you have as a content creator speaking out against Israel doing a genocide on the Palestinian population living in the Gaza Strip? Or do you feel like most of your commentary on that issue has overwhelmingly been to rail against people that are doing that?
Sure.
Pro-Palestinian advocates.
I don't know.
Yep. His whole thing has been to rail on people that have been talking about it, rail on people that have been criticizing him for having the wrong, the wrong Zionist. He has Zionist ideas, so people were criticizing him for having Zionist ideas. He got mad at them. He got people fired, deplatformed.
Like you've been wronged by, myself included.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but if you're pro-Palestine, it doesn't absolve you of criticism. That's something that you guys keep harping on.
Do I
think my coverage?
I don't think that's the case. I don't think that is the case.
Okay. Do you think my coverage has been like totally balanced? I would say no. I've obviously given less time to the Palestinian perspective, and I think the reason for that is simply that.
No, not just the Palestinian perspective, Ethan. I think that rather than talking about that issue in and of itself, rather than talking about the genocide itself, every time you have
Hasan, I'm answering your question.
Every time you've talked about Israel-Palestine,
Get him, Hasan.
it almost always revolved around.
I was going to tell you why. Do you want to let me answer?
Personal vendettas that you have experienced
I was
from
going to explain that.
content creators.
Okay. Would you like me to? You asked me a question, so I'm going to answer
Yeah.
it. The reason
Go
for
ahead.
that being is that I feel like I'm responding to a lot of bullshit that's been passed my way ever since Leftovers ended, starting from you and your community. Now, that's my answer to that. Now, let me ask you about this. This sword has a Nazi swastika hilt.
Here comes the bullshit dumb drama again, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if AB, the Lebanese fucking worker of the show, is giving him like the fucking research, all this stupid research.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
That
What's
is
funny
not
about that?
a swastika, guys. A swastika, it's tilted. The way that's made, that's the flat side. That's a square version of it. If it was tilted like in a diamond shape, then it'll be a swastika. And also the little arms, they gotta be more symmetrical. The arms are not symmetrical at all. It's just not a swastika. It's a Bleach sword. It's a sword from Bleach. Okay? This is a manji, which is an Indian symbol, a Hindu symbol. The Nazis bastardized the symbol by taking it, twisting it into the diamond shape, making it white and black, and putting it on the red flag. They fucked it all up. But that is not a swastika. That's a manji.
That.
Ethan's being really fucking uncharitable here, dude. What a fucking dick.
I think it's funny because you've made this a major point of contention. That's why I think it's funny.
It's a swastika, is it not?
Yeah, it's a sword that is a bleach sword, as you know already. that has a hilt that has a Japanese manji sign on it. But yes, it does look like a swastika, as I've also noticed and have talked about on numerous occasions that you've brought forward.
Yeah, of course you're conceding that because we fished this up. But yeah,
such as when I made fun of, I believe it was Alexa that grabbed it, and I said, "Oh, you immediately go for the swastika one." Yeah, exactly. Do you think?
Anyway, my point is, Hasan, if I can continue my point, is that you knew it was a swastika sword. So why did you guys choose to pose with this sword?
Ethan?
Answer that. Why was the choice made for this sword?
I'm gonna gently explain this to you again. One, it's not a swastika, but regardless.
Do you think it looks like a swastika?
I did not make this editorial decision. I wasn't even.
Do you think it's reasonable to perceive that as a swastika?
Ethan,
answer the question. Is it reasonable to perceive that?
I don't think it was a deliberate decision that IDubbbz made, but I don't know. I don't know his mind.
Hasan, they're your swords, and according to the New York Times article, there was 10 options. So what's the chances that they chose the swastika one? That seems pretty slim.
Well,
you have 10 swords, don't you?
The week prior to that, I believe. I don't know the exact.
This is so stupid, bro. He was literally making a thing for Assassin's Creed Shadows. He was making like a promotional picture. He took a picture with the katana. The katana he has is not a real katana. It's very light. It's a light weapon. It doesn't weigh a lot. If you're going to take a picture with something, you want to make sure it doesn't weigh a lot so that you can actually maintain figure in the picture. It is not a swastika sword.
Timeline. I don't really remember when they shot this, but I had the sword out because I was doing an Assassin's Creed promo. Do you feel like if I thought it was like genuinely a swastika sword, I would use it in an Assassin's Creed promo shot?
Yes. That's what we call a dog whistle, Hasan. And what you're doing is gaslighting somebody. You made a video. Let me make a point here, Hasan, because you're the king of microaggressions and understanding the perspective of minority groups. True. Right? So you made a video. You participated in a video accusing a Jewish. Let me finish my point, Hasan. No. Stop. You are making a video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism while exhibiting the most hateful symbol against Jewish people. Do you not see this as a problem? Or at least, am I insane for thinking this is odd?
Ethan,
you are insane.
Take a deep breath.
Answer the question. I don't need you to console me.
I didn't even hear your question. I need you to.
Well, you should try listening instead of speaking.
I'm just looking for clarification here. Do you think that I deliberately was using a dog whistle in an Assassin's Creed promo, or that it was a cool sword that was laying around because it's the only long sword that I have?
You have 10 swords.
I know they're heavy. That's not a real sword.
So yes, I'm aware that it's not a real sword, but you had 10 to choose from. What does it matter how much they weigh?
Yeah, the other ones are heavy.
Let me paint a scenario. Hasan, let me paint a scenario for you, okay? Listen, okay? This is important. You participated in a video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism. You exhibited in that video the most hateful symbol against Jewish people. 1 out of 10 of your swords that you have previously already stated is the, quote, swastika sword. So am I insane for even... You're treating me like I'm insane.
Bro, he was fucking joking, and you can't take a joke because everything you try to take is for, like, fucking drama and slop, and you try to use everything against other people.
For bringing this up, but it sounds pretty reasonable.
You're such a scumbag, dude.
I mean, it's a little insane.
So yeah, microaggressions just don't exist for Jewish people.
You're asking me why IDubbbz.
It's your sword, bro. I don't believe that you weren't there.
I'm not IDubbbz.
You were there, bro. It's in your fucking house.
I don't know why you're asking me.
Because it's your house and your sword.
But I also gave you what my speculation is. And that is that
it was just a cosmic chance.
I previously had it laying around because I had just done an Assassin's Creed promo.
Okay, if you say so. So if it's a cosmic fluke, which you claim, then why leave the photo up?
I'm not even in the photo. I
know it's in your room though, and with your sword. Why leave the photo up if it's a cosmic fluke?
Because he's not gonna fall for your stupid bullshit and pull everything down that you think is anti-Semitic or whatever. Like, he's not gonna, like, agree to your stupid mental illness and just pull down anything that hurts your feelings. Like, what? You Sociallust, bro. I don't like that video you made about Cuba, bro. Cuba's terrorists, bro. I don't like your point of view on Cuba. I think they're terrorists. It hurts my feelings. They killed my people. That's anti-Semitic. Take it down. No. Go fuck yourself, you bitch. I ain't taking shit down.
Why are you asking me this question? I don't know. I'm not. Ethan?
I'm sorry, Hasan. Are you unable to make value judgments on situations? Like, isn't that what you do for a living? Do you think that IDub should have removed?
I don't think it's relevant or that big of a deal at all. If that's what you're trying to get out of me, like, yeah, I think it's not.
Okay, so you're telling a Jewish man who's complaining about a very odd coincidence that I'm crazy and I'm exaggerating.
With the on it, Ethan. Can we? Okay, you got me. All right. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, you got me. I put a swastika in the video calling you out for exaggerating anti-Semitism. You got me.
Do that.
Yes, you did. You literally did.
I didn't do that.
Okay, laugh about it. Go on.
It's not a swastika. And
why should you leave it up?
You have that much of an issue with swastikas, considering you drew one on PewDiePie.
I'm a Jewish man, you fucking moron.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Is anyone in that room Jewish? Was anyone in that room? Did I draw swastika one time on?
Do you think that Jews have an exclusivity agreement with like being offended or not offended by not the imagery? You've done a Sig Heil approximately what? 50 times.
Why did I do a Sig Heil? Why did I do a Sig Heil?
I don't know.
Because you only watch clips on Twitter. I was making fun of Elon Musk and trying to see if it was valid or not.
Oh, thank you.
And by the way, as a Jewish man, are you going to tell black people not to use the N-word?
Wait, what?
Are you going to tell black people not to use the N-word because it offends you?
If your air conditioning system looks like it belongs in a junkyard, just $83 a month with $0 down gets you a brand new, super efficient air conditioning system. If you guys are interested, if you want more info, click below. It's going to ask you 1 or 2 quick questions, and then we will send you over more information. Again, if you live anywhere here in the area and you've got an old, struggling air conditioning system, right now we can get you a brand new air conditioning system that is super efficient for $0 down and starting at just $83 a month. If you're interested, click below.
Designed like a supercar, built like a tank to dominate the toughest lawns on Earth. Say hello to Luba Mini AWD and sayonara to all that shaggy old grass. Luba laughs in the face of gravity. Steep slopes are child's play as it traverses rough terrain thanks to an all-wheel drive system, reactive suspension, and internal motors for...
Shut up.
Do you think this is...
I left in the comments. This is a mirror of Hasan's ICE detention questions. Lol. Imagine being cooked by Sam Cedar and Hasan.
An apt comparison?
Yes.
Okay. So you think that being able to draw this, your anti-Semitism radar is completely out of whack.
And who are you?
Yeah. Ethan Klein thinks that he can do the Heil Hitler. Ethan Klein says he can do that because he's Jewish. What? Can I get like a Nazi armband and get a fucking Nazi uniform? You know, oh, I'm Jewish though. I can do it. Well, I'm Jewish. Guys, I'm Jewish. I can do the swastika stuff. I'm Jewish. No, get the fuck out of here, you Zionist fucking scumbag Nazi piece of shit.
To say that to me. You posed with a swastika.
You're saying that it's not a swastika, and you know it's not a swastika.
I mean, it literally is a swastika.
No, it's not.
Let me see the swords in your background. Why didn't you choose one of those ones?
I didn't choose the sword, Ethan.
I don't believe you.
Do you think this is a productive use of our time?
Absolutely. So anyway, you say it's a weird cosmic flute. Personally, if I think it was a weird cosmic flute, you say basically it's not a swastika. The difference between the Hindu symbol and
but it's not.
Okay, right. The difference
okay, right.
Hindu symbol.
Okay, right. He just gave up his entire argument that it is a swastika sword by saying, okay, right, it's not a swastika sword. Because it's not. He's a fucking liar, dude. He's a fucking Weasley little piece of shit, gray-haired, ugly-ass fuck, Ozempic-looking liar.
Absolutely. So anyway, you say it's a weird cosmic flute. Personally, if I think it was a weird cosmic flute, you say basically it's not a swastika. The difference between the Hindu symbol and
but it's not.
Okay, right. The difference between the Hindu symbol
and
the Nazi swastika.
On the other hand, was a swastika.
I'll finish what I said. Yeah, I'm a Jewish man. I depicted a swastika, cool. A tasteless joke on IDub's shirt 10 years ago. You said this is the swastika sword, and you keep it in your house, and you use it and pose it in photos, attacking a Jewish man. The fact that you can't...
Didn't Ethan Klein do like a swastika on PewDiePie? I remember something like this when I was a kid. Ethan Klein, the anti-Semitic man himself, the anti-Semitic man. He basically draws a swastika on PewDiePie's shirt. Oh my god, his fucking image. Look. He drew like a dick. Oh, you guys can't see it, man. You guys can't see it. It's the fucking image browser. It's so whack. You can barely see it. Even worse. Let me see if I can scroll down. No, dude. Go back up. You guys see that? He drew all this shit on his shirt. You can't just do that if you're Jewish. Just because you're Jewish doesn't mean you can just draw swastikas everywhere, do the Sig Heil, do like goose step around. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This dude does not know. He is not a progressive at all, and he does not know about Nazism enough, I think. He's a fucking Zionist, dude. He's a Zionist. That is what makes you a Zionist. Literally.
I jokingly referred to it as looking like a swastika when my friend picked it up.
So
if I genuinely thought it was a swastika memorabilia, do you think I would keep it in my house?
Dude, you're being so obtuse. I know it's not a swastika, right?
He knows it's not a swastika. He was just saying it is.
And I know you know it's not a swastika, but it is literally a swastika also. Because the difference between a swastika and that Hindu symbol is this. You see what I'm doing?
How is something a swastika but isn't a swastika? How is something a thing but isn't a thing at the same time? He makes no fucking sense, dude. He's like twisting himself into a pretzel, trying to debate Hasan.
Difference. If you ask a Hindu person, would they walk around with a swastika sign?
Wait, so you know it?
Fuck no, they know that looks like a swastika.
A swastika sword, so I'm a little confused.
Ask your Hindu friends if they would walk around with like a swastika brandished. They know.
Okay.
Are you Hindu?
I am not Hindu.
Okay, interesting.
No.
So anyway, it was a cosmic fluke.
Do you think
brandished
that only, do you think that only Hindu people have bleach swords? Like, what's going on?
We're discussing the symbol, not the sword.
Okay. You're discussing the sword, you dipshit. You're saying the sword is a swastika sword, but it's not. It's a bleach sword.
Go ahead. So you think it was a cosmic fluke? There was 10 swords. He magically picked that one.
I can't. Again, I'm speculating
and
on
he left
the
it up.
decision making
If
of
it was
a
a
person
mistake, he could have
who
deleted it.
I'm not him.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Again, I'm gonna repeat myself here.
Look at his hands. Look how his hands tremble, bro. This is him. Bro, chill out, you fucking weirdo.
Decision making.
If it was a mistake, he could have deleted it.
I'm not him.
Dude, look at his hands. Let me slow down a bit.
And I'm speculating on
he left
the
it up.
decision making
If
of
it was a
person
mistake, he could have deleted it.
I'm not him.
Go ahead.
I
ask
don't
me.
know. Again, I'm gonna repeat myself here. I think I'm doing.
You
this
don't
a
need
lot.
to. Go ahead.
I am not.
Ask me the next
iDubbbz.
question.
I don't know what was going
I'm not
on.
accused.
He's probably gonna say that's his Tourette's. If he ever finds this video, he's gonna be like, "You're making fun of my Tourette's, bro. I'm gonna cancel you," and he's gonna call my job and get me fired like a pussy ass loser.
You being iDubbbz, Hasan, but you're acting like you're incapable of making value judgments on things because you're not
No, because
iDubbbz.
I already made the value judgment. I think you're being crazy.
Okay, well, Mr. Microaggressions thinks I'm being crazy. Very good. You have no problem telling Jewish people they're being crazy on what...
Yes. You are being crazy, you fucking weirdo. You draw swastikas on people. You do the Sig Heil.
It's like a blatant fuck... Go ahead, ask me the next question.
And then you think you're doing Israel a good because you're supporting their genocide. And then you say you can't fight back Israel at all. You can't do nothing against them, even though they're doing a genocide, which is the crime of all crimes. But you can't fight back. You gotta take it. You gotta take it, man. Just take it. Take the genocide.
Wherever.
What were you wearing? Were you wearing a red dress when that genocide happened? What were you wearing, Palestine?
The road takes you, Chevy is ready to drive you forward. With pure power.
Yes, I don't.
Do you think
I don't have a problem
if you could
telling
go back,
you're being crazy right now. You being Jewish has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm sure it doesn't. Do you think going back that it was a mistake to use that sword?
Look at his crooked ass hairline. Look at Ethan Klein's crooked ass hairline. It goes like, his hairline is like how my hat right now is positioned. Look. It goes like this. It's pretty straight. Then it goes turn. It takes like a big ass turn up here. See that? it kind of like even my hairline it ain't that fucked up, you know. I mean, I'm going a little thin here, but like it's pretty even, you know what I mean? It's pretty even. This motherfucker got like, I think his barber fucked him up. Yeah, his barber fucked him up. His hairline, one of them goes like it cuts into the line. My man got fucked up. He got cooked.
Do you think going back that it was a mistake to use that sword?
I don't really care about this at all.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that really shows where you're at on this. Go ahead and ask me a question.
Okay. So, since you believe that Israel is committing a genocide, what are the appropriate steps that people can take, both in the Western world and also regional actors can take against this entity doing a genocide by your own admission, that you would consider to be appropriate? Because it feels like throughout this entire process, you have set boundaries on what you think
just
is
killing
inappropriate.
Civilians. That's the boundary.
As you have set boundaries on what you think is inappropriate.
Killing civilians, all right, but not on the Israel side. He'll support the Israel army and like he'll support Ela's opinions and what she thinks about that, and he'll call Palestinians it all the time and say terrorist city when he talks about Ramallah. But that's only because Israel hasn't killed no civilians.
And time and time again has said is outright anti-Semitic.
My boundary is killing civilians.
Okay, that's great. So
is that unreasonable?
That's a perfectly reasonable boundary to set.
Okay, good. So then
totally
we don't disagree
agree with you on that. Great.
Okay. So let me ask you the next one. Let me ask you about this Tabra tier list.
Hold on. I have a. Let me finish.
Well, you asked and I answered. Go ahead. You could go on a little bit more.
Okay, so hold on. Everyone is complaining about my volume on my side because we're using Zoom instead of Discord. So my fucking audio.
It's fine. Take your time to get the audio.
My audio
right.
keeps going up and down. Okay. So one of the first conversations that we had, you and I had, that led to the Leftovers podcast ending, was that you considered "From the River to the Sea, Palestine will be free" to be an anti-Semitic slogan. You said that Jews feel like this is an exterminationist slogan and Jews fear this slogan in the United States of America.
Correct.
If you think that Israel's doing a genocide, do you feel like it is appropriate for Westerners in the United States of America and Palestinians and people of Palestinian descent to be able to use emancipatory slogans, or should they go to jail under the Trump administration?
Okay, I mean, these are pretty extreme.
He would say you can go to jail. I'm pretty sure Ethan Klein supports the ICE detention, like how ICE pulled Hasan over in the airport recently, which we're going to watch soon. But I'm pretty sure he supports that, and he wants pro-Palestine people to go to jail, honestly, and lose their jobs. So fuck you, Ethan. I hope you lose your whole career. I hope your show goes to shit. I hope your house burns down. I hope, I don't know. What else can I wish upon you? I don't know.
Questions. Now, I'm not making a value judgment. I'm just trying.
All I was trying to do. Question is what's happening right now.
Bro, do you want me to answer?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to explain the Jewish perspective. I'm not trying to make a value judgment of it. But what I will tell you is that how do you feel about Norm Finkelstein?
We pretty much take it all. Fridges and dishwashers and dressers, drawers, couches, mattresses, beds.
Love Norm. I know he has said that it
Here's
is,
what he had to say about this.
I know what he said.
No. I want the audience to see this, Hasan.
Hold on.
Hasan, I want the audience to see this video.
This is not going to be a gotcha moment for you because I know Norm's position.
Good. I'm glad you know. Let's let the audience know, Hasan.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Hasan, let the audience watch the video.
I can have a nuanced and reasonable disagreement with a person that I actually admire.
So that's what we're having.
Like Norm. But
so it's nuanced and understandable with Norm. Let the audience watch the video, Hasan.
Okay. Go ahead.
Palestine will be free.
Let me go back. Yeah. Here's the Norm Finkelstein, a prominent figurehead in the Palestinian liberation movement.
I don't like the slogan.
I know. I have more positions that I disagree with him on.
The video
as well.
Will be free. I think it's a bad slogan.
Hasan, stop talking, Hasan. Hasan, shut up. Hasan.
I know the slogan from the 1960s, the 1970s. It was a bad slogan then, and it's a bad slogan now. because it has too much ambiguity. When you say
he sees Hasan getting up, he pauses it.
From the river
Hasan's gonna hit me with the chair react.
to the sea, Palestine will be free. Obviously, a question arises. Okay, what happens to the Jews in that scenario? And some people will say, well, all it's about is everybody being free, but that's not what the slogan says. So I have, in recent weeks, I have voiced my concern that it's a bad slogan. And I said, just change it, tweak it. From the river to the sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free.
Hey.
And you can't answer that slogan because all you're talking about is equal rights for everyone. From the river to the sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free. And
I don't know if he actually means the one vote thing, because I think what he's saying is good in that from the river to the sea, Palestinians will be free, which I think is good. You're laughing at Norm.
Routinely talked at campus encampments, college campus Palestinian encampments as to, I'm not going to make much hay about the slogan in general. There's plenty of other slogans.
Well, you're willing to listen to him, but when I say it, it becomes a big controversy. I literally, I'm not. It's not even my opinion. I can have a disagreement with him on that, and you're forgetting one key factor. What's that?
Okay, you're forgetting one key factor. Norm Finkelstein still ultimately will always say, while I disagree with the slogan,
he supports
because I think it scares people, it ultimately does not matter, and I'm not going to stand in opposition to it. He doesn't say it's anti-Semitic.
When have I opposed
it? He doesn't say it is extermination.
When have I opposed it?
That's what people think.
When have I opposed it?
If you think that Norm Finkelstein would be in agreement with you in any way, shape, or form on any issue, please have a conversation with him.
He's literally in agreement with me, like verbatim.
Okay. No,
actually, even more.
You said it was anti-Semitic. Norm doesn't think it's anti-Semitic.
Hasan, do you remember me advocating against it? Do you remember me advocating against it?
If he agrees with you on anything.
Sure, I'll ask Norm Finkelstein. Do you remember me denouncing that statement and saying people shouldn't say it?
I believe in our conversation.
No, it didn't happen. You're lying.
You said it was anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
I said it's perceived that way by Jewish people. All right, let's move on. The Sabra tier list.
Norm does not believe it's an anti-Semitic
Very
slogan.
good. I'll ask him about it. Now, let me ask you about
Are you actually going to do that? Because that would be wonderful.
Yes, I'm going to talk to Norm. We'll have a great conversation about From the River to the Sea.
Is it? Wait, can I ask you a question?
No. It's my turn. You spoke, and now it's my turn.
You know what? You go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very gracious of you.
Well, I mean, it's just a back and forth conversation, but you seemingly have a lot of grievances not pertaining to the actual issue at hand.
I don't know. The issue, my friend, the issue at hand is your behavior.
Bullshit.
No, I think the issue at hand is the genocide.
Well, we seem to be coming at this from two different angles, which is great, right? So let me ask you this. Hold on. You said it's my turn to ask, so let me do that. Is it my turn to ask a question or what?
That there's a genocide. You already recognize that Israel is committing a genocide.
I can care about two things, Hasan. It's very important to acknowledge that.
Don't you think
I can care about two things, my friend?
Incredibly narrow framework
very
surrounding
easy.
your own personal feelings.
I'm not that smart, but I can care about two things.
Okay, no,
even if one is more urgent than the other.
You think your own personal feelings, born out of your misunderstandings, is more important?
Did I say that? I said one is more urgent than the other, referring to the genocide.
Oh, okay. So you recognize that
Hasan,
the genocide is a more urgent
Hasan,
issue.
please let me ask a question.
Almost all of your commentary
good.
surrounding this issue on
good.
talking about your own personal feelings and how you've been wronged by people.
Very good. Let me ask you. So you claimed
wait, can you answer that question?
No, Hasan, you asked your question. It's my turn. I talked about how gracious you were, man. What happened?
Answer his if he asks you a question, you gotta answer it, you fucking asshole. You can't just talk. Ask your question now.
Wait, but
I said you're so gracious. You're gonna let me ask you a question. What happened?
Does that make sense?
Don't make me take it back. All right, let me ask you a question.
Sense to you?
Hold on to that. Ask me after this. You defended Frogan's use of the Sabra tier list. What was your opinion on that?
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
This is like the most useless fucking debate ever, bro. You can't have a good debate with Ethan. Like, he's just a fucking dumbass. He's literally a dumb fuck. Growing gray hair.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
Has 3 kids crawling around with dog shit on the ground. Allegedly.
I think that the Sabra hummus tier list is absolutely insane to consider anti-Semitic, and most people have already laughed about it, despite the fact that it was very damaging in terms of deplatforming a bunch of content creators that participated in this, egged on by yourself, by the way.
Yes. With pleasure.
Whoa, look what he just said. He just said yes with pleasure, right? Let's look up what Sam Cedar said. Sam H3.
Right.
This is how much of a liar he is. This is how much of a fucking liar this motherfucker is.
Find you. Well, teams nearby are Clippers. Watch.
Was my understanding is that they feel a connection.
That's where my authority comes from.
And I know that other people have also, and you know, I don't believe that people. I don't actively attempt to deplatform people. I don't think people should do that. I don't think people should be swatted, or
what does Ethan say? What does Ethan say?
Tried to be fired or whatever. Or have CPS sicked on them or any of that. I mean, I just don't think that's appropriate. I mean, I'm more interested in talking about my relationship to Zionism and my perspective on what Israel is doing and what is happening in Gaza. And
I totally agree. Let's just talk about.
I totally agree. What a fucking liar. What a piece of shit trash human.
In terms of deplatforming a bunch of content creators that participated in this, egged on by yourself, by the way.
Yes. With pleasure.
And
what a fucking liar. He just lies about everything, dude. Just the biggest liar. Like, he's literally like the personification of the state of Israel at this point. He is the personification of the IDF. Just fucking do shit and lie about it. Lie, 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 lie. We didn't do that. We didn't murder those innocent people. Oh, look the other way. Oh, they were terrorists. Oh, they were using human shields. Oh, lie, 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 lie. What a fucking scumbag human, dude. You're gonna go to hell, Ethan. Go fuck yourself.
In terms of deplatforming a bunch of content creators that participated in this, egged on by yourself, by the way.
Yes.
Yes.
With pleasure.
And
with pleasure.
And yeah, it's not.
It's insane.
Even remotely.
Okay.
It's not even remotely anti-Semitic.
Very
it's
good. Let me ask you a
the
question.
Cracker Band that Twitch capitulated on.
So let me follow up with this. Have you seen the thumbnail?
The thumbnail?
Yes, that's what I said. This is the thumbnail that's still up. Now, let me ask you this, Hasan. Here's Frogan's thumbnail for the Sabra hummus tier list. In the F tier is me and Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is not in the tier list. He has never explored or used. Why do you think Ben Shapiro is on the F tier?
Because he's a shitty, Zionist, right-wing, conservative asshole. Just like you. That's why you're on the F tier too, you dumb fuck. Because you're a shitty person.
Ethan?
Whoa, answer the question.
Again.
What you're dodging?
I'm not iDubbbz.
Oh, but you can't make value judgments suddenly on your friends who you've spent all this time defending.
No, because I don't care.
Well, I do.
I don't. Like,
I think it's great you don't care. Why is Ben Shapiro there?
Because he's a shitty,
I don't know. I don't care. Probably because he's also a massive
Jewish?
fucking. What?
No, he's
because it's the most prominent Jewish creators on YouTube.
Do you think Ben Shapiro's Judaism is the reason as to why he would be on this?
100%, without a doubt, yes.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Hold
go ahead.
on.
Take your time. I know it's a lot to process.
Okay. Yeah, this is a lot to process.
Yeah, I know, man. It's tough. You really don't know what to say because it looks pretty bad.
No, because it's so fucking stupid.
Well, tell me then.
You look kind of dumb
so why
right
is Ben
now.
there?
You look kind of insane.
Okay, very good.
That's
why is Ben
I'm
there?
having a hard time. Like, I don't know why fucking Frogan made this thumbnail. And
Why
I
is
don't
Ben
care.
there?
I don't have any issue with this thumbnail.
Why is Ben there?
Because he's a Zionist, dude. He's a right-wing shill.
Because he's a prominent defender of Israel.
You're quick to say that Jews aren't the only Zionists, right? So why is Ben Shapiro, of all the people in the world who are conservatives, who are Zionists, Christian Zionists, why Ben Shapiro? Me and Ben Shapiro in F tier?
Because you two are like two of the biggest Israel supporters right now online. That is why, you fucking schizophrenic, gray-haired idiot. Go take care of your children, bro. They're getting giardia and shit. Come on, bro.
The two most prominent Jewish creators on YouTube? That's a coincidence, just like the swastika, huh?
Ethan,
these are two cosmic coincidences. Hasan, they're really stacking up.
The tier list that you're talking about, first of all, the tier list that we're talking about was literally designed by a Jewish content creator who you advocated to ban, and he got banned.
Very good, and I'm glad he did. He definitely deserved it.
There's Ethan Klein lying again, so he's very happy the guy got banned. Let's see what he said with Ethan Klein earlier.
The only thing I really saw that came up
My wife earlier. If you at least
this issue about talking to me, and I had presumed that
that's where my authority comes from.
I'll take your word for it.
So at any rate,
this issue about talking to me, and I had presumed that that was it, but I don't, like, look, from my perspective, I'm not, and I know that there's been, you mentioned in the email that there's been a lot of grief that you have taken, and I know that other people have also taken grief on all sides of this, and the personal aspects of this, and I don't believe that people. I don't actively attempt to deplatform people. I don't think people should do that. I don't think people should be swatted.
Yeah, don't do that.
Or tried to be fired or whatever. Have CPS sicked on them or.
But Ethan Klein likes to fire people. He likes to get people fired. I thought that was okay.
Of that.
Ethan Klein agree with not? Does Ethan Klein agree with him on not getting people fired out of their jobs? Let's see.
I mean, I just don't think that's appropriate. I mean, I'm more interested in talking about my relationship to Zionism and my perspective on what Israel is doing and what is happening in Gaza and.
I totally agree. Let's just talk about.
Ethan agrees he shouldn't get people fired and stuff. But now when Hasan's in front of him, he's like he just lets his real truth self out. Wow.
The list that we're talking about was literally designed by a Jewish content creator who you advocated to ban, and he got banned.
Very good, and I'm glad he did. He definitely deserved it.
Jew.
That is how little you should give a fuck about Ethan Klein or the H Street podcast or his politics at all. You should not give a shit about this show anymore, dude. This show just needs to die. Like, the crew needs to get the fuck out of there. They all need to, like, quit. And the show needs to die, dude.
You called him a token Jew.
He's just a fucking liar. He's a fucking liar, a racist, an Islamophobic bigot.
By a Jewish content creator who you advocated to ban, and he got banned.
Very good, and I'm glad he did. He definitely deserved it.
Jew. You called him a token Jew.
And I still stand by that. The man is just yeah.
So you get to draw swastikas on PewDiePie, but Rafi can't say that there is a tier list here where Sabra
This is Frogan's tier list. This is her.
Is the lowest. The Sabra hummus, liking Sabra hummus is the lowest tier.
Ben Shapiro.
And the highest tier is being able to get a Habibi pass. You, as a Jew, get to determine what other Jews are able to do. You're the Pope of the Jews, as Sam Cedar likes to call
I'm not
Ben
determining
Shapiro,
what they can do, but this is
going on.
This is Frogan's bit. This is her stage. This is her bit. I mean, you can say the Jewish dude is the fall guy and did everything, but that's not true.
Wait, so you get to draw swastikas, but Rafi can't even say Sabra hummus is dog shit.
He can say whatever he wants. I'm not criticizing. By the way, you think that my criticism is that he doesn't like Sabra hummus? Are you being serious right now? By the way, is that a beef? Hold on, what are you drinking?
It's a Dr. Pepper cream
Isn't that
soda.
Who owns that?
I don't know, but it's not on the BDS.
Are you
national
sure?
BDS list.
We'll double check.
Yes, I'm 100% sure.
Okay, we'll double check that. It's not about Sabra hummus, and like let's not be obtuse.
Actually, the BDS one is actually pretty funny too, because like you've been, you consistently talk about how like I drink Diet Coke or whatever. When that fan came up to me and said stop drinking Diet Coke, it was not on the Palestinian National Committee's official BDS list.
Yes, it was.
And ever since it has been on that official BDS list,
you're lying.
I have not drank Diet Coke or purchased any Diet Cokes at all.
You're lying. It was on the list.
Wait, what is?
What? Yeah, it was on the list. You're lying.
What was on the list?
Coke.
Yes, it was put on the list, and I stopped purchasing Coke, and I stopped drinking Diet Coke.
You said, you know what's funny? You told her
because I think it's like
you remember what you told her,
significant.
Son? You remember what you told her? You said, "I'll just put it in a cup."
Yeah, no, I was joking with her because I thought that it was a ridiculous request at the time because it wasn't on the Palestinian National Committee's official boycott, divestment, and sanctions list, Ethan.
Okay. It's not about Sabra hummus, just so you know. Like, let's not be silly.
Wait,
about
what is
this.
it about?
It's about what's Sabra means a Jew born in Israel. It's an Israeli company. It's everybody knows it's like considered like Israeli hummus. It's been on the BDS list. Everybody knows the connotations
terrible.
of Sabra hummus,
It's
right?
so- it's
Nobody.
so doo-doo.
Yeah,
It
I
is
don't like
doo-doo
Sabra
hummus.
hummus either. We're not talking about hummus. What I don't like is
okay, great. So
anti-Semitism
okay.
perpetuated by your friends and swept by you. Now, why is Ben Shapiro in the F tier? That's a cosmic coincidence. Okay, let's move on. Very good.
Ethan,
go ahead. Next question.
I don't
Because he's a far right Zionist, dude, and nobody likes him online.
Again, I'm not.
I
Frogan,
know it's.
and I don't know
I know.
why.
How can I make value judgments on my friends I've been defending for 2 years?
Also,
who can say
there is a tier list in front of me, and it seems like a bunch of people, both
Ben
Jewish
Shapiro and me are in the
non-Jewish,
F tier.
on the Loves Sabra tier list.
You're looking at the end. I'm looking at the thumbnail, bro. I'm talking about the thumbnail.
I know,
right?
but I first of all, again, I'm making inferences about editorial decisions that other people have made. I'm just simply speculating at this point.
Sure.
But you know, it's a.
Are you not embarrassed by this
joke.
armpit hair? It's so cringy, bro. It's like so weird. I'm glad you changed that finally. On a separate note.
What?
I find it just so weird and bizarre that this was your thumbnail for so long. Also, ironically, wearing a Rolex hat, which is like.
Bro, Ethan Klein wants to fuck Hasan, dude. Ethan Klein wants to fuck Hasan. He wants that dick. He wants the glob on the knob, dude. Oh my God. He just loves looking at. He has nice muscles. Come on, you gotta admit.
Like probably the symbol of capitalist excess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a free
Cool,
Rolex
dude.
hat from a friend of mine. I still wear it every now and
you're
then.
so. Oh wow, who knew? So anyway, Ben Shapiro
Wait,
was
I'm so-
accidentally
wait,
in
what-
the F
What
tier.
does this have to do with anything? What's going on, man?
Yeah, I know
What's
it's
happening?
confusing. It's very confusing for you. It's like a car crash. I'm sure.
He's losing his mind, bro. He's so schizophrenic and shit. Like, he's such a weirdo, Ethan.
So why do you think there's a
so
Jewish
this is a
man
cosmic
in the A
mistake.
tier
Let's move on.
the tier list? If you think that it's like all about anti-Semitism and
Do you think that this is at least a bad coincidence?
No, I don't.
Well,
I
that's
really don't.
fantastic.
No, I don't think it's a bad coincidence at all. I think you're trying to
your
find
mind.
with a fine-tooth comb like any
Of course.
incidents.
The
that
Jewish
even
man
come
is
across as
crazy.
remotely
He sees
anti-Semitic, and you're
anti-Semitism
having a really
everywhere.
hard time.
These
Well,
are
if you
just
want my answer,
cosmic
if you want my perspective, I'm
mistakes.
telling you. If you want my perspective, I'm giving it to you. I think genuinely, at a time when there is unprecedented levels
Yes,
of
I know. We can't
open
talk about
out and
anything else. That's very
anti-Semitism,
convenient for you.
At a time when there's unprecedented
This motherfucker is so annoying. You got Donald Trump, the whole entire Republican Party doing Nazi shit. Elon Musk doing Nazi shit, literal Nazi shit. Steve Bannon doing literal Nazi shit. Sig Heils. You got far-right groups, militant groups out there, harassing trans people for being queer. Fascist pieces of fucking shit like Nick Fuentes. The Proud Boys, groups like that. And you're worrying about Hasan? Hasan Piker, you fucking idiot. Get his dick out of your brain, dude. There are bigger issues. He's not anti-Semitic. He is not a fucking racist.
levels of out and about anti-Semitism with incredibly prominent, oftentimes right-wing conservative figureheads actively talking about Jews, okay, in deeply anti-Semitic fashion, you have lasered in on people that you can't even actually catch, quote unquote, dead to rights because they're not anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Well, they're not wearing a shirt that says "I hate Jews," but they're walking.
No, because they haven't done anything that can actually give you full evidence that they are anti-Semitic. They're making fun of Zionism, which is not. It does not mean Jews. It means a far-right ideology. That would be like if I criticize Christian nationalism. Are you gonna be like, "Oh, Sociallust is talking about all white people"? No, dude. You're a fucking liar, a Zionist piece of shit. It's racist.
Around swastikas and doing tier lists with Jews on the bottom. I mean, that's as close as you could pretty much fucking get without them just saying, "I hate Jewish people."
Ethan, it seems to me like
and I think you're acting really silly and obtuse right now. The guy who's all about microaggressions and understanding the perspective of minorities and stuff, telling a Jewish man that he's hallucinating anti-Semitism and won't even concede that this looks bad. Okay, fantastic.
No, you're hallucinating anti-Semitism in this circumstance.
Very good.
I'm not saying anti-Semitism is not a prominent fixture of American politics.
Very good.
I actually do think that anti-Semitism has exploded in popularity in American politics, especially.
Hasan has been saying that for so long. It's not the first time Hasan says that anti-Semitism is exploding. Look at the far right. Look at the right wing. They're crazy.
So that's not my point at all. I'm saying you individually right now wish that these people were anti-Semitic. So you're trying to find anything you can hold on to.
It's really not a stretch,
once again, none of those people are me. So I don't know why.
Let's stop with the value judgment thing. Like you can't make a decision. It sounds stupid as hell, dude.
It's not stupid as hell. You're calling out Hasan for things that other people are doing that he's not involved in. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is supposed to be a debate about Hasan and you and Israel and Palestine, not Hasan Frogan, Matt Lieb, this dude, Fulanito allá, this other guy, my mom, my dad, my neighbor. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, you idiot?
Wait, I sound stupid as hell? What?
No, when you go, I can't draw, I'm not them. I mean, it's...
I mean, I don't know what... You're asking me what their genuine...
You hear that weird-ass moan?
Oh, I can't draw, I'm not them. I mean, it's...
I mean, I don't know what you're asking...
He just gave up. He just gave up, like, mid-sentence. Because he knows he's lying so much.
Me what their genuine decision-making
Why would I want
is,
my best friend Ida to be anti-Semitic?
Why
would I want...
He's not your best friend no more, you fucking evil piece of shit. He's not your friend no more, I can tell you that.
My best friend Ida to be anti-Semitic. Why would I want that? You think I enjoy my friends and people around me being anti-Semitic?
Do you want me to tell you why?
I would love.
I don't think you're
to
gonna like the answer.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. Go ahead.
Okay. You want everyone that has criticized you to be anti-Semitic so that it makes you feel better about your position. It's not your own personal positions that you have explained to people that come across like you're using anti-Semitism as a shield to deflect criticisms against Israel.
This is
and that if they are actually out and about anti-Semites, that'll make you feel a little bit more comfortable, like you won the argument in your mind, and that your community would also finally go, oh yeah, you're right, you're a permanent victim in this situation. But because there's an unimaginable amount of anti-Semitism everywhere online, it comes across as shocking that you laser in on what you perceive are dog whistles when they're very clearly not even dog whistles at all. And I'll give you an example of this. Something that you did that I found very funny was you tweeted, or you don't tweet, sorry. You Instagram posted about my Theo Von podcast appearance.
Sure did.
My Theo Von podcast appearance where you were like, oh, I can't believe...
We're never going to get through this fucking stream. Oh, I accidentally... Shit.
Do you think it's appropriate to accuse? Do you think it's appropriate to accuse any Jewish person?
The Theo Von situation, and you said, so you said I'm anti-Semitic, right? Yesterday you said, or 2 days ago, in the aftermath of the Sam Cedar conversation, you said I'm not anti-Semitic. So what has changed in that process? Is it this conversation that you and I?
That he's a fucking liar, and he changes opinions on like whoever he's talking to. He's like a Joe Rogan. Like depending on whoever Joe Rogan's talking to, that's how his answers will come out. Like if Joe Rogan's talking to a right winger, he's gonna sound like a right winger. If Joe Rogan's talking to Bernie Sanders, he's gonna sound like a fucking progressive. That's how Ethan is. Ethan is a fucking snake.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Got it. All right.
Here's the clip, by the way. You accused me of not. You accused me of not mentioning that Theo Von did not ask you about Rick Scott. Let's go back and watch the clip.
Because no, I said I didn't say.
Bro, you literally look like the dude from Beetlejuice. That's crazy. The small head guy.
Ethan, I use my words very carefully. I said in the Instagram story that you posted. I don't watch your stream that much. I don't. You know, I don't. I only
in the
see
waiting room.
It's so stupid when Ethan tries to be funny by making fun of him. Like, bro, Ethan, you know how you look like? You look like a fucking crackhead, bro. That's like in remission and like needs like more crack, and your hair is all graying out. You look stressed out. You look like you're dying.
Oh, that's crazy. Do you see the resemblance?
What?
You're this guy from Beetlejuice. In this photo, you have like the same coat and shit.
He does have the same coat. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's you are a comedian.
I sure am, buddy. I see you laughing. All right, anyway. So you accused me of misrepresenting what happened. Let's play the clip.
right? $800 billion of Medicare and Medicaid that they want to cut. Mike Johnson goes on stage, says, goes on Caitlin Collins on CNN and says, oh, there's a lot of fraud happening. There's not fraud happening in Medicare and Medicaid on the point of the recipient.
Right.
It's happening on the point of the providers.
Right.
And that's why I got banned recently on Twitch yesterday. Because
Sorry about that one day. So you just got back.
Yeah, Libs of TikTok was like posting about how I said something.
Wait, what is this?
And they misconstrued it as though it was a call to action to assassinate a sitting
why are you
US
showing me
senator.
this?
Well, you're saying I didn't bring this up, but or I'm saying that Theo didn't bring this up. He didn't. You brought it up, framed it in your own way to basically preempt a tough question. Yeah.
Ethan, I said on the Instagram story that you posted about me, Dan, can you switch it back to Ethan?
Don't switch it back, Dan. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'm switching it back.
Okay.
1 second.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
I know, man.
This looks ridiculous on
It
my
sure
end.
does, buddy.
I'm sorry. Okay. So yeah, this was
and it's not just because of the video.
The post as well, but the post I was referring to was make sure Theo knows how you feel about
It is because of the video.
hosting a terrorist adjacent content creator, and I believe there was another post about it or something. But again,
I said he was irresponsible to platform you and not ask you difficult questions.
Yeah. So the question I have for you once again is like he had Candace Owens on. Like, do you feel like that's a little bit more damaging in terms of spreading potentially anti-Semitic narratives, or do you think that anti-Semitism is when you feel bad personally, and that could be any number of different?
That's what he thinks. He thinks anti-Semitism is when he feels bad and he feels hurt by what someone said.
Things that I've done in any given moment.
Yes, I think you were just as bad as her in your own special way, and that's why.
You think
and you guys were hitting that same flavor.
Candace Owens
Yes.
on anti-Semitism in my own special way.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Very
All right,
good.
Cool.
Very good. So let me ask you a question. Hasan, can I ask you a question?
Can you now officially not talk about like Frogan or anyone else and tell me why I'm anti-Semitic?
Well, we're kind of getting
2
there.
days ago you said I wasn't, but
I
also
already,
for a year.
You're repeating yourself.
Well, I am, because you haven't answered this question.
I have literally answered it probably 2 times. The reason that I'm saying you're anti-Semitic is because how you responded to my question at the beginning of this interview.
Ethan, for an entire year, you called me a virulent anti-Semite, a rabid anti-Semite.
Never did.
You did.
You did
You
not.
went back and
I
forth
have
on it.
actually
Even
went back
Ben
and checked.
you on it.
I had.
If fucking Hasan sued your ass, Ethan Klein, and made you go through discovery, you would be proven so fucking wrong. So shut the fuck up, Ethan. Because you would be so... Oh my god, I'm glad you're being sued by fucking Denims, dude. I'm so fucking glad. And you know what? I'm going to donate. I'm going to donate whenever I have the fucking money. I'm going to donate to her. So eat my dick, Ethan.
Said that you spread anti-Semitism and stuff, but I never called you an anti-Semitic. I went back and checked.
So
You're
you're
lying.
simply spreading anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difference.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay, can I ask you a
Tier
question?
list, is about Habibi, not Sabr. You're conceding to the framing. Yeah, we're not conceding to anything. I don't want to even talk about the tier list anymore. Stop it. Okay.
Okay, let me ask. My turn. Do you think it's appropriate to accuse? Do you think it's appropriate to accuse any Jewish person you disagree with of working with the ADL?
No.
Here, for example, is someone using it anti-Semitically.
Saying that Ethan Klein and ADL in unison.
Hasan, let me finish. You're getting ahead of yourself, buddy.
Yes, I do. I do think that that's
You're
a
getting ahead of
valid
yourself,
thing
man.
that's a valid thing to not only speculate, but also I
Hold the
stand on that
phone.
for sure.
Ethan Klein literally took credit for the ADL bans.
Hasan, I'm getting there. You're getting ahead of yourself, buddy. Here's an example of it being used in an anti-Semitic way. I'm sure you'll agree. Timeline on that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I heard you're
Who
the
is this?
ADL.
What is this?
Hey, what are you doing?
Moving in these dang gas lights. Just stop and get some gas.
All right, so tell me about it.
All right, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take this this government regulated crap over here.
You gonna throw it in the trash?
Yeah, it's going in the trash. Guys, we got these Beaver jerry cans here. I've been wanting.
Fuck these government-regulated gas canisters. Ugh. Check out this non-government regulated metal gas canister that could catch fire if a lightning strikes it or whatever happens.
One of these, ended up getting me 2 of them. So.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, this is your fan who ran up on me on Rodeo.
Who the fuck is this guy? My fan?
Yeah.
How do you know that's his fan?
You remember.
How do you know that's his fan?
Is this the guy?
Yeah, you remember.
Wait. No, this is the guy that you claimed was my fan, right? He was calling me the fucking
I mean, there's a clip of being like, yo, I love this dude. Anyway, who cares if he's your fan or not?
No,
the point is,
no,
it doesn't.
Hold on. If he's a fan,
No.
you fucking liar. You can't just say someone's a fan of. Imagine someone was like, hey, Sociallust, this fan of yours called me the N-word. I'm like, what fucking fan? What? Bitch, I don't know that motherfucker. You can't just make up a fan and then claim someone did something and their fan did. Like, what the fuck? Ethan is such a petty bitch, making up drama about a fan that it's not really his fan, saying stuff like, bro, you're so petty, dude. I wish Sam Cedar would have fucking cooked your ass even more, like finally roasted you in that debate. I wish Sam Cedar would have just called you. I wish Sam Cedar would have called you a fucking Zionist to your face, my brother. I'm sorry. My brother in Christ.
It doesn't matter. I'm showing him as an example of you.
It does matter.
Okay, fine. He's not a fan. I don't care.
You brought him up. Wait, what do you mean you don't care?
If I brought him up, Hasan, if I brought him up, let me finish my point.
He's not a fan of mine.
Why
did you make it seem like that person was a fan of mine then?
Let me get to there, okay?
He's
You asked me.
lying.
It's my turn to ask a question. Just because I brought him up doesn't give you the space to interject.
Is it because he rolled up to me and tried to fucking clout farm? Is that why?
Yes.
At
Okay, thank you very
I was
much.
very clearly disturbed by his presence.
Hasan, I think you know where I'm going, and I think you're scared.
Nobody's scared of you, you fucking Tourette's-riddled piece of garbage.
Yeah,
Can you answer the question? Why did you falsely claim that this fucking random dude who does not like
that you're his favorite person in the world? What do you mean?
Didn't you use? Wait.
All right, Hasan, here you go, buddy. Here we go. You wanted it. I've got it.
I love you. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sorry.
I love you.
I'm so sorry.
I love you, bro.
I love you, bro.
You're like you're my girl.
You're the GOAT.
You're the coolest guy in the world, bro.
Wow, how crazy.
Look gay now.
I'm fucking. Is this another hysterical delusion?
Yes, it is, and I'm gonna explain to you exactly why. Because
wow, dude, I love you. You're the GOAT, bro.
We spent a good deal of our time in the encampment. If you watch the unedited full live stream, we spent a good deal of the entirety of the encampment running away from him because he kept trying to ask me dumbass fucking questions.
Okay, but that's got nothing to do with he's a fan.
Listen, for his own dumbass podcast.
You're derailing this, and I need to.
I'm not derailing it.
You
it's
absolutely
not called
are.
derailing.
Not derailing. He's adding context because you keep fucking lying, Ethan.
When I'm telling you I was there and I'm telling you the situation,
very good.
You are nefariously making it seem as though this person is a massive
Do I
fan
need
of
to
mine.
play the clip
He was just
again?
trying to cloud chase.
I'll play it again. You know, fuck.
You can play that clip again.
I'll play the clip from Reddit again. I'll play the Reddit clip again.
Oh my God!
Girl,
I love you. Hasan, can I give you a hug?
Can you play the clip where he openly admits he doesn't know who I am and asks people around? Because that also
You're my hero, bro. I love you.
You're the coolest guy in the world.
You're the coolest guy in the world.
Hold on, I think I look gay in that one.
I think I look gay in that one.
3, 2,
Ethan.
1.
Ethan.
Yes, sir.
Ethan.
Mm-hmm. You okay?
If you think he was a fan of mine, why'd you call him a Sneeko fan when you interviewed him?
Oh,
because he's both. I mean, surely there's
Oh, wow, yeah. Hasan definitely has a lot of Sneeko fans. Hasan shits on Sneeko all the time. What are you talking about? What's going on out there?
There's a crossover.
Do I need to play the video again?
Okay,
I'll do it again. Fuck it.
Dude, he did this shit with Sam Cedar. Like, when Sam Cedar kept cooking him.
Right.
When Sam Cedar kept cooking him, and he kept showing a stupid video about Hasan saying that Zionists shouldn't be like a dog walker or whatever. He kept every time Sam Cedar was cooking him and saying, "Bro, you're a fucking dumb fuck for worrying about this stupid shit." He kept being like, "Okay, I'll play the video again. I'll play the video again." He thinks like playing the video like reinforces his arguments, his stupid arguments.
Okay, good. Then you're a neo-Nazi, not fit to watch.
Was it hyper?
The destruction.
And I'll tell you what I think is really.
Sorry, I gotta correct you. He says Zionism, and then he says if you had positive feelings about the state of Israel at any point, personally, but
it was really electoral malfeasance on her part. At the point
about kind of my criticisms of Hasan and how this. I'm sorry. This is more.
I honestly.
Yeah, you don't care. I know.
I don't care. I don't.
And why should you? I don't blame you. We talked about anti-Semitism, and you think that I don't want to put words in your mouth.
You're putting words in his mouth.
But you seem to have conveyed that, compared to the destruction and everything happening, the genocide, the loss of life in Gaza, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, that obviously that's way more important. So let me show you an example of something.
No, dude. Anti-Semitism is important, but you keep conflating. You keep conflating Zionism on this side, which is a whole different thing. It's a right-wing ideology. You keep conflating Zionism with anti-Semitism. So whenever the left-wingers and progressives and Democrats are like, Israel, stop doing this. It's war crimes. It's bad. It's Zionist. You keep saying, oh, they're criticizing Jews. They're criticizing Jews, bro. Why are they criticizing Jews? It's bullshit.
And again, I know you don't care about the drama. To me, this isn't drama. This is one of the biggest, most influential streamers spreading something that I think is really dangerous. And you can agree or disagree, but it's a short clip, but I'll show it to you, and you tell me what you think.
Here we go.
This will never happen, but in a totally just world, any kind of regardless of your background, any kind of fucking Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a fucking rabid neo-Nazi.
True.
And you shouldn't even let someone be the fucking local dog catcher as Felix was posting if they've ever exhibited any sort of like positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm so serious about this.
Now, he said Zionist who has supported Israel, who has shown any good feeling for Israel. That's totally fine.
By the way, he didn't misspeak. He doubled down on it yesterday. He said, no, I agree. That's what I think. Now, just to recap, he says, anyone that's had positive feelings at any point about the state of Israel is a neo-Nazi that's not fit to be a dog walker.
He said Zionist, Ethan. See how he fucking lies?
Now,
dude?
to me, that seems like extremely dangerous, dehumanizing language about what could arguably be 70% of the Jewish diaspora, and certainly probably people you know in your family.
Nope. That's not what
I'll tell you, there's some hyperbole there, but
that's putting it mildly.
I mean, he says Zionism, and I'll tell you what I think.
He said Zionism, Ethan. You fucking brain rotted piece of shit. Your brain got fucked.
Correct you. He says Zionism, and then he says if you had positive feelings about the state of Israel at any point in your life.
I gotta tell you,
which Zionists tend to have good feelings of Israel. Zionists do that.
If you if you look at what's happening right now, and you have positive.
Here comes Ethan to be like, "Want me to play the clip again? Want me to play the clip again? I'll play the clip again." That's not what he says.
Feelings about Israel.
Watch.
He said at any point in your life, Sam. Just to be clear about what he said.
Would I have said at any point in his life, someone's life? But I just think this is such a petty, like the idea that we're going to police. Hold on, let me respond. You want me to respond this?
No,
I don't. Like I say, I don't care about this. But if you're going to force me to respond to it, what Israel is doing right now is so far beyond the idea that someone says any time in your life or not or whatnot. He's talking about Zionism.
Yep.
Wherever the road takes you.
Fuck up, you stupid ads, bro. I got so many ads.
And frankly, I think it's very difficult for me to understand how someone could have positive feelings at this time. Now, you want to say in the past and what? Okay.
Yeah.
Like I say, I will grant you at any time in your life that is too broad a step. But wait, let me finish.
Yeah.
But see, you go in and you're making this about anti-Semitism by doing this hopscotch about a poll that people had positive feelings that Jewish people do, and then therefore he is anti-Semitic. And honestly, that type of conflation,
dangerous,
I think, is so dangerous and so disingenuous. I mean, I don't want to get too passionate about this, but I will tell you something. I have had a guy who went to my bar mitzvah, my sister's bar mitzvah, my kid's bar mitzvah, sat at Passover with me 3 or 4 times, call my father and ask him if I'm anti-Semitic. Now, this is just one, that is just an example, an illustration of conflating when he's clearly talking about Zionism. Was it hyperbole to say any time in life, whatever? The fact of the matter is this conflation is dangerous for Jews. It is a fig leaf and a way of weaponizing anti-Semitism that has enabled Donald Trump to do the shit he's doing, that has enabled the slaughter of thousands upon thousands of children and women and men, for that matter. It is not keeping Israelis safe. And this type of conflation, Ethan, is what I find far more irresponsible, frankly, than the idea that he said positive any time. I mean, look, you do a show
Sam,
4 hours a day. He does a show 5 or, as far as I could tell, 15 hours a day. And to focus in on that one tiny clause.
This is not one tiny clip, Sam.
Well,
you don't know. This is a totality of behavior.
But you wanted
and by
to
the
bring
way,
this
it's
up.
easy,
and
I appreciate that
show
you
the evidence of his behavior. You dumb fuck. You're not gonna find any anti-Semitism in Hasan.
hand wave it away and say that it doesn't.
No, I'm not hand waving it away.
Well, you kind of are.
I'm saying this
You're saying it doesn't.
conflation.
You're saying
this
actually
conflation-
I'm wrong
saying-
for caring
I'm
about
say-
it.
No, yes. In fact, I'm saying this conflation is incredibly dangerous. It is disingenuous.
I think it's dangerous
right now,
to
there is,
ignore what's being described as dehumanizing violent language for American Jews that have nothing to do with the war.
That is a complete.
Bro, you're a fucking American Jew. You were born in America, you dumb fuck. You're not even Israeli. Your wife is Israeli. You're not.
Mischaracterization of
It's
that.
not. He's not fit to be a dog walker.
He never says the word Jews.
He says a neo.
Listen,
Yeah,
how
bitch.
many?
That's what Zionists are. They are basically neo-Nazis. He got you. He got you. You basically said it yourself. You tripped over your own words. He's talking about neo-Nazis.
Complete
Yeah, he is talking about neo-Nazis.
mischaracterization.
Zionists are neo-Nazis, basically. Zionists, Christian nationalists, Christian Zionists, Israeli Zionists, all of you are racist motherfuckers. Basically neo-Nazis.
It's not.
He's
not fit to be a dog walker.
He never says the word Jews.
He says a neo.
Yeah.
Listen, how many members of Kufi have positive feelings
let
towards
me
Israel?
say.
Oh,
I mean,
wait. How many millions of members of Kufi, the Christian organization, have positive feelings for Jews? It is clearly not a function of their Judaism. It is not a function of their Judaism, and so it is not
describes
specifically.
most Jews.
No.
Yes, it does, Sam.
It describes most Christian evangelicals.
There's more Christians evangelicals than there are Jews in the world. There are more Christians than there are Jews in the whole fucking planet. So when you criticize Zionism, there's more Zionist Christians than there are Jewish Christians. So you're criticizing Jews,
It may do them too, but it also describes 73% of
that
Jews.
is not anti-Semitism. That is about
I don't
a
know. What do
belief.
you call it when somebody's discriminating against the vast majority of a racial or religious group, Sam?
I'm sorry. You want to look at evangelical Jews?
I don't care about evangelical people.
Okay, but I'm talking about the way you're constructing this.
I think
you can say the same thing about Christian evangelicals too. It is not anti-Semitism. It is not. It just isn't.
Like, taking one example in isolation, which is what we've done here.
Well, you're the one who gave it to me.
Yeah, well,
I don't even want to talk about
fundamentally,
it,
I disagree
but I'm
with you.
using your example, and in that instance, that is not anti-Semitism.
Well,
And
I
this
disagree.
Conflation. Okay, well, that's our disagreement.
Yeah.
But I think that conflation is incredibly dangerous.
Well, I disagree
it's
as well
dangerous
on
for
that.
Jews.
I think
it's dangerous for this
You're a fucking idiot, Ethan Klein. No one cares about what you think, obviously.
society.
I think, frankly, I think
You're an idiot. You lost this debate. Get fucked. Get fucked. You loser.
My producer and my camera op, March. My producer and my camera op, March,
I'm so sweaty, bro.
there.
I'm so sweaty.
And he's in the chat right now.
You're like my hero, bro. I love you, bro. You're the coolest guy.
Ethan.
Hold on, I think I look.
Listen, he might not be a fan, but you can't accuse me of being delusional for saying that.
You are delusional.
Okay, very good.
You
I'm
are.
delusional. Let me get to my point, please.
I mean,
so
you-
I'm not even asking you to endorse this guy. I'm just simply showing you.
I don't endorse him.
I know you
and
don't.
He's not a fan of mine. So why did you claim that he was a fan of mine? Because he
I'll
fucking
play it
clout
again.
chased.
I mean, I feel like we're running.
He's fucking lying about everything, dude. He's finding any little thing he can lie about.
He was
circles.
clout
I'll play
chasing
the
at a
clip
fucking
again.
Palestinian encampment? That's why? That's all it takes for you?
No, it was when he said, "You're the GOAT. You're my hero. I love you."
He didn't know who I was. He was just saying that so he could fucking ask for
He
an interview
literally
for his
recognized
podcast,
you.
for his POA podcast.
Okay, who cares? I don't care. So let me
Well,
move
now
on.
you don't
Do you
care.
want to talk about this
It
for 2
seems like
hours, or do you want to actually have a
it seems like
conversation?
wait, well, hold on. You can't just say you don't care all of a sudden when you look like a fucking asshole for falsely
lying.
claiming that some random
I'll play it
person who
again.
stalked you is a fan of mine. You said
I heard
he
you
was
talk
a
about-
fan of mine in, I believe, in,
Okay,
your,
I
in one of your
lied,
videos.
I lied
You
about
said he
him
was
being a
Yeah,
fan.
you lied.
and
I
was
know.
sending
I
harassment your way.
concede.
You keep lying about everything else, you fucking liar. You lie about everything, Ethan. You're a fucking liar. That's all you do is lie. It's insane, bro.
Random
I'll play it
person who
again.
stalked you is a fan of mine. You said
I heard
he
you
was
talk
a
about-
fan of mine in, I believe, in,
Okay,
your,
I
in one of
lied.
your videos.
I lied
You
about
said he
him
was
being a
fan of mine,
fan.
and I was sending harassment
I
your
concede.
way.
Yes, very
Don't
good.
you think that's a big point of contention? Don't you feel like
I
this is a big point of
concede.
contention?
I concede. I want to show you an example of.
Do you see my side of this though?
I think
Because like
no,
a
you're being
random
dishonest.
a random Sneeko fan comes up to me,
A random Hasan
wants the
fan
clout
comes
chase,
up to you.
and you wants the clout chase, and you turn around and you say that he is a fan of mine to prove a point, to make a false point to imply that I'm sending people to harass you.
That's
Do you
not what I
feel like
implied.
that's appropriate?
That's a total lie. I have never accused you of anything of the sort. That is an
So
outright
you
horrific.
did not imply that this
bad
person that was a
faith
fan
lie.
of mine
Yes,
was
I did.
actually harassing you.
Yes. When is it? Now that's a big logical leap.
Oh, you just admitted to that. Bro, I wish Hasan would sue the shit out of Ethan, bro. I would, if I had Hasan's money, bro. Oh, Ethan, you would have been drained the fuck out of your money. You would have had to sell Teddy Fresh, bro.
Hasan from he's a fan of yours to you're sending people to harass me. That's fucking insane. And by the way, I mean you are a liar. You know that, right?
Did he not harass you?
Bro, what are you talking about? Did you send him? Did you send him to harass me?
I hope Denims wipes you clean, Ethan. I hope Denims. Oh boy, dude. I hope she fucking cleans your plate, bro.
Oh.
Just like Ryan Kavanaugh did.
He harassed you, and then you imply in your video that he was a fan of mine.
Go ahead. When you're done, I'll wait.
Leading the audience to believe. Here, we have a clip, by the way, Dan. If you want to play this supposed fan of mine, since you guys are playing clips over there.
By the way, this was a while ago. He turned on you when he saw that you support trans rights. I know. He spoke ill of you.
No. Even before he actually meets me.
I'm not even mad. I don't care about this guy.
Style and substance in the GMC Sierra.
No, well, seemingly you care enough about it that you brought him up here and you used him.
You didn't even let me explain why I'm showing it.
You used him in the past to act like I was sending
hate your way.
You're
terrified because you know where this is going.
No one's scared of you, dude.
I have no idea where this is going. This has been a journey.
Well, how about you let me fucking speak, and then we can figure out. We can take the journey together.
Can you play this clip though?
So this clip is just an example. Not that you're endorsing him. Not that he's a fan.
Can you play? Dan, I sent you a clip.
I passed it along. It's out of my hands.
It's the first introduction of this character onto the stream where he's like, "Who's this guy?"
I'll play it. Yeah.
Pothead or Potman. Is that it? Hey. I can be on. Are you guys doing interviews? I'm Palestinian. I know I look Jewish.
He doesn't.
Oh no, we're just streaming. Israeli. I look like Israeli. We're just the guy. Normally the answer would be yes, but he's busy right now. What are you guys doing?
You're not there.
We're just streaming. It's live stream. Oh, live stream. Yeah. Dude.
You're not even in this clip, bro. What are you talking about? You're not even present. You're out. You're out playing with swastika swords or something. You're not even in this clip.
Dude, why? Chat. I think he's showing it on his side. You're not seeing the clip. Yes. Yeah. He's showing the clip.
Okay.
That is the first introduction of this character onto the broadcast, and he doesn't know who the fuck I am. He just sees cameras and goes, "Oh, I would like to do interviews with this person who is famous." It seems that was the whole point. The reason why I showed you that is because he was never a fucking fan, and then when he saw the full extent of my viewpoints, he started calling me the F slur. He's a Sneeko fan.
Hasan, in that clip, he doesn't see you. You're not there.
He's probably behind the camera, you fucking idiot.
Ethan, he is a clout chaser. And
Fine,
not a
bro.
fan.
I don't care. Who cares? Let me ask you a question.
I do care because
okay, very good.
I do care because you have made an inference.
Oh my God,
erroneous.
Dude. You are dragging your feet on this topic, bro. It's getting ridiculous. Can we please move on?
That is ridiculous.
This clip you sent didn't prove me wrong at all.
Yes, it did.
You're not there. And you were never there, Hasan. Okay, let's continue, please.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is an example of someone who I think is anti-Semitic. You probably agree with me on that, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. He's not a fan of yours.
I think that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I've seen, any number of different things I've seen from that dude, I think he's like a right-wing dating coach or something.
Yeah, he is. Dating Money 101, baby. Like and sub. All right, so here he is using the ADL. He accuses me of being in the ADL, and I'll play it. Operation?
Okay.
I don't know, but I heard you survived it, and I heard you survived the Holocaust.
That timeline on that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I heard you're in the ADL, bro.
The ADL? No, I'm not. All right, so he says, I heard you're in the ODL, bro, which, like, obviously is, I perceive that as anti-Semitic.
I don't think you're in the ADL, Ethan, if that's what you're going to say.
Well, you said, and I'll quote a tweet that you made. Okay? Yeah. Go ahead. You said, I'll quote, he worked with the ADL to make Zionists a protected class on Twitch.
Just because you work with the ADL doesn't mean you're in the ADL.
Now, that is an outright lie.
I don't think it's an outright lie.
I worked with the ADL.
Over it,
sorry. I worked with the ADL. What does that mean?
Yeah, as in like worked alongside. I don't think you're in the ADL.
Oh, that's what you meant when you said I worked with the ADL. I worked beside them, just incidentally together. You didn't mean that I worked with them privately to get people banned. Of course not.
No, I do think that.
Didn't you say you choose your words very carefully?
Alongside the ADL.
You just told me briefly ago. You choose your words very carefully, Hasan.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up, Ethan.
Not always. I'm famously.
Okay, we're walking that back. Sometimes I speak out the side of my mouth when I say you work with the ADL. So. Here you are again repeating the lie with Steiny on video. Go ahead. You had time
constantly come after me when he knows I'm not anti-Semitic and making these inferences that I am and like partnering with like the ADL and
partnering with the ADL. You want to unpack that one there, buddy?
Yeah. Again, partnering with the ADL. That is precisely what took place. I
have never spoken to the ADL, so what does that mean?
I'm not saying you directed the ADL
to take action. Do you know how silly you look?
Well, actually, you know what? I am kind of saying that. I am implying that you directed the ADL to take action.
Well, that's a defamatory claim that has zero proof. And frankly, it sounds a little Jewish conspiratorial.
If I thought that you worked for the ADL, I wouldn't have said you worked with the ADL. I would have said you worked for the ADL. Now, what's interesting to me, of course, about this is that
I do not work with the ADL
for these bans.
Hasan, I do not work with the ADL.
You took credit. You took credit.
You were a part of the mass smear campaign.
That is not working with the ADL. Would you say that
falsely
I got nothing to do with the ADL? Blame Frogan for doing a racist fucking panel at TwitchCon that became a viral story independent of me.
Panel, Ethan, just like cracker is not an anti-white term, except public pressure clearly works on Twitch, and they make erroneous bans when they don't want people coming after them.
Here's Frogan repeating the same lie that she heard from you.
Pressure on numerous instances.
This is what she learned from you.
Everything in your power to push people to bully and harass me, including weaponizing propaganda organizations such as the ADL to get me banned off Twitch because I made a joke.
So she said I weaponized the ADL. You said I partnered with the ADL. You said I worked with the ADL, but you didn't mean that I spoke to them. You just meant that we were magically skipping along and happened to just, without even seeing each other, just working together in perfect harmony and love. And by the way, I'm pretty sure you're implying that I worked directly with them on this.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, you doubled down on it. You said that you do believe that, and I just want to let you know that that is a
No, I don't think you directly work with them. I think your goals are aligned on this. Yes, and
for Mr. Precise words, say that. Don't say you're partnered with the ADL. Do you understand? You said partnered with the ADL. Me, a Jewish man, you accused without any evidence at all of being partnered with the ADL. You're now trying to rewrite history and say I said you were working besides them. You are a liar.
What are you talking about?
You are a virulent fucking liar.
You took
Ethan,
ownership.
did you or did you not take ownership over the bans?
I think, yeah, I might have.
Ah, you got cooked, you fucking dumb fuck, you idiot.
Does that mean that I'm working with the ADL?
Ethan?
Hey, Hasan, can I ask you a question? Are you working with the Neo-Nazi Party of America? Because they're also anti-Zionist.
Ethan is so stupid. He cooks himself, and then he doesn't, you know, he's like Trump. He keeps moving forward. He plows through the cringe. He plows through the cringe.
No, seriously. Are you working with the Neo-Nazi Group of America, who's also anti-Zionist?
Ethan,
do you work with them? Are you affiliated with them? Are you partnered? Are you partnered with neo-Nazis? Or do you guys happen to have the same goal and are completely related?
Here's a parallel for you. Have I taken credit for a neo-Nazi anti-Semitic incident that took place? Because if the answer is yes, if neo-Nazis actually engaged in an action, neo-Nazis actually, not like your fucking hallucinations, something that we all agree, like neo-Nazis did an anti-Semitic incident and I took credit for it and I said, this is awesome. I'm glad that it happened. I made numerous videos so that they would do this. Yes,
I was on the tier list, bro.
In saying that
it was literally targeting me. I was on the tier list. Why wouldn't I respond?
Ethan,
I don't have to be a member of ADL to respond to someone harassing me. Are you fucking
to my words,
dumb?
Please. Listen to my words.
I'm trying, but it's just fucking lies and filth and like empty air.
From your perspective, my association as a 10-year fighter of anti-Semitism, my association from your perspective with anti-Semitism is like something that is so laughable that I don't even know how to describe. Like you're like, oh, it's a swastika sword, but then you admit that it's not a swastika sword. That's how loose this association is. But on the other hand, I can't say that you have worked alongside
That's not what you said.
In getting
you said I'm partnered with. Partnered with. You are lying. You are rewriting. You are not taking accountability. You said I'm partnered with the ADL.
Ethan, I can't take accountability for your hallucinations.
Hasan, do you think that the normal, reasonable person watching that will infer that we were just coincidentally working on the same, or that I was working directly with them?
My man is sparring with ghosts. Jesus Christ.
What do you think?
What do you think the average person would conclude from saying I'm partnered with the ADL?
What do you think a normal, reasonable person would infer when they hear you?
Bro, you are literally gaslighting me. It's so obvious what you meant.
Demanding the bans of Twitch streamers.
You took credit for the bans, you dumb fuck. And if the bans were done by the ADL, that means you took credit for working with the ADL.
And then after they are banned, you say, I'm glad that they got banned. I take credit for it. What would a normal, reasonable person infer from that?
I was on the tier list, dude. I was responding to them. It wasn't like I'm fucking like. It wasn't like I went out of my way to get them banned. I responded to them. I was on the tier list. There's been 3 instances, I think, of, in my opinion, very credible accusations of anti-Semitism. You've accused me of hallucinating all 3 now, which is very convenient.
No, because they're not credible. We are not in agreement. These are not credible allegations of anti-Semitism. These are hysterical hallucinations of a person who desperately wants all of his critics to be anti-Semites so he can feel comfortable
glad this is on record.
in the unique position that he has created for himself.
I'm so glad this is on record. So you think?
Yeah, I'm glad you. Yes.
So you think that the you think a reasonable person would hear you say he's partnered with the ADL and not think that I was working directly with them?
I think a reasonable person will hear your own words and think that you probably worked directly inside of the ADL.
Have I ever mentioned the
didn't even
ADL?
make that inference.
Have I ever mentioned the ADL?
You took credit.
Did I ever mention the ADL, Hasan? Answer the question.
It doesn't matter. You took credit for the ban that the ADL pressured.
Do I ever mention the ADL in my entire fucking career?
Doesn't matter. You took credit. You took credit for.
Actually, I mentioned them once, but I didn't even know what they were. Frankly, if you have the thing, it was even. Did I ever?
Yeah, it's a clip where you are saying,
okay.
I did that shit. I'll fucking take credit for it. You know who did that shit? The ADL did. You are taking credit for something that the ADL did. I'm not even making that inference.
Well,
You're
they
saying,
attacked me.
Which one do you think? What do you think the average person would think in this situation when you are saying that you did that shit? And it's the ADL's pressure that caused these people to be banned for such a ridiculous,
being silly. I don't care.
Not anti-Semitic thing at all.
I was being silly. They attacked me. I just wanted. Do I know? Do I know who?
Silly.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well. All right, I guess we can move on.
Do I
then.
think I got them banned? I don't know. Who knows? You know, I think that
you got a Jewish content creator alongside multiple Arab content creators banned off the platform for 30 days.
There's a reason they call them token, my friend.
Actually reacted.
You spend time being a token, you're going to get spent.
But it was just silly. You know, fuck them.
You want to cash in on your Jewish friends anymore? Or can we move on?
Am I what?
Would you like to cash in on your Jewish friends more, or can we move on?
Cash in on my Jewish friends.
That's right.
That is so fucking gross.
You know any Jewish people that aren't anti-Zionist?
Yes.
Who?
I'm not going to review. I don't want to. They're normies. I don't want to dox them.
You're lying. You're
no,
surrounded.
I'm not.
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
lying.
You're absolutely lying.
Dude, he doesn't want to dox them. He knows how crazy your community is. Your community will go after anybody. Find their address, find their family, find their name, their job.
Dog, I live in West Hollywood. Do you think I'm not around Zionist Jews? What are you talking about?
Do you pass Jews on the street? Yes. Are you friends with?
No, I'm friends. Yes.
Okay.
I am.
I don't believe
and
you.
They've treated me with much more dignity than you have, as a matter of fact.
Well, yeah, because they're not on the receiving end of
an
insane fucking harassment
I can have a more normal conversation with them
they?
than you, seemingly.
All right, so you think that
they would most likely laugh at all of this?
Just to recap here, so we can move on. I mean, did the random Zionist Jews that are treated you so kindly, did they have CPS show up to their house or skulls sent to their house?
Ethan, I didn't do that.
Ethan.
I didn't say you did that.
I don't know why you're bringing that up.
I know you did.
That has nothing to do with me.
Part of your shtick, Hasan, is acting obtuse when you're caught in the corner.
Okay. All right. You've dominated the conversation so far. I think we should get back to some stuff that.
I agree. Let's just summarize.
No. Look, can we just get back to this?
It's very quick.
Because like you
I just want to put a cap on this. Just a cap.
And making
you're doing the thing that I'm so critical of you on.
Partnering with like the ADL. And
you said so. Just to put a cap on this, and we'll move on. You said I am quote partnered with the ADL, which you now claim was just a. You didn't mean that I was working with them. You mean that we had the same goal. Okay, very good. We'll see how that plays. You want to tell me what?
I need to take a break from this fucking debate, dude. Oh, Zealots. What's that YouTuber? Here we go. Overzealots. Let's watch Overzealots, my sexy musician, South American content creator guy.
I was in Ethan Klein's and Hasan Piker's debate. Ethan played a clip of Hasan reacting to a video of mine in which I refuted Ethan's dishonesty and omission surrounding the Nakba. We'll get back to this, but let's just say there's a reason why Ethan cut my clip off where he did. I'm going to be making this quick and hopefully short video to disprove Ethan's mischaracterizations of the Nakba and the events that contextualize it, his dishonest representation of Iraqi-Israeli historian Avi Shlaim and his book 3 Worlds, and to contend with the blatant racism Ethan displayed during that segment. I'm not going to get into iDubbbz's content cop or the whole swastika sword that is and isn't a swastika mess.
It's not a swastika, and you know it's not a swastika.
I mean, it literally is a swastika.
I genuinely thought it was a swastika memorabilia. Do you think I would keep it in my house?
Dude, you're being obtuse. I know it's not a swastika.
I'll pass.
See what I mean? This guy's a fucking idiot. Ethan.
On Schrodinger's swastika and stick only to Ethan's ahistoricity. Right off the bat, Ethan falsely conflates the Nakba, the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians, with the emigration of Jewish people from the MENA region to Israel. He made this claim in his content nuke.
After all, Israel is a country of refugees. If the Jews didn't come from Europe after the Holocaust, they came from the surrounding Arab countries that expelled them in massive amounts following the 1948 war. In fact, there was more Jews displaced than Palestinians during the Nakba. 1 million Jews.
And decided to stand by it during his debate with Hasan.
You said, in the context, puke. You said, this was the worst thing I did, so let me play it, okay? And then we can discuss. In fact, there was more Jews displaced than Palestinians. From Europe after the Holocaust, they came from the surrounding Arab countries that expelled them in massive amounts following the 1948 war. In fact, there was more Jews displaced than Palestinians during the Nakba. 1 million Jews.
And decided to stand by it during his debate with Hasan.
You said, in the context, puke. You said, this was the worst thing I did, so let me play it, okay? And then we can discuss. In fact, there was more Jews displaced than Palestinians.
This was one of the worst pieces of misinformation I've seen in the fucking context, puke, for the record. It was crazy.
This specific...
So Mike, again, nicely done. Let this guy hold your hand and formulate your opinions, but he's not here to help you, okay? So you tell me, what was wrong with what was misinformation about saying that 900,000 Jews were displaced?
He presents these two distinct situations, the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians and the displacement of Arab Jews, as if they're morally symmetrical when they're not. And to support that argument, he cites the work of Avi Shlaim, specifically Shlaim's book, 3 Worlds. Ethan carefully frames his question to Hasan by asking,
what was misinformation about saying that 900,000 Jews were displaced?
But don't be misled by that framing. It's true that around 850,000 Jews left MENA countries for Israel, but the way Ethan poses that question implies a false equivalence, as if this were a mere case of mutual displacement. In reality, the forces behind the migration of Arab Jews were far more complex and included significant Zionist influence. In some cases, that included false flag bombing campaigns aimed at Jewish targets committed by the Zionist underground and blamed on local Arab communities to facilitate the immigration of Jews to Israel. The newly founded Israeli state was desperate to boost its Jewish population and secure a demographic majority, even though Arab Jews faced systemic racism from their European counterparts once they arrived. Meanwhile, these immigrants were often settled in Palestinian homes on expropriated land, while Palestinians themselves were ethnically cleansed, killed, or forced into exile. Not to mention, the migration of Jews to Palestine started well before 1948 and took place over the course of many, many years. It's not a mirror image, but it's a power imbalance that can't be justified under any circumstances. And you know who agrees with my assessment? Avi Shlaim, the guy Ethan is mischaracterizing. Shlaim literally makes that point in his book, 3 Worlds. Klein even condescendingly asks Hasan if he's ever read the book, to which Hasan replies that he hasn't, but he's read Shlaim's other works.
3 Worlds. Have you read that book?
No, I have not read 3 Worlds.
Okay, well, you're using a lot of source from it. It's a book that he wrote about his migration.
It's not the only book he wrote about this. But go on.
Have you read any of the other ones?
Yes.
Really? Which ones?
The book that I'm referencing is from the Iron Wall.
Then Ethan goes on to heavily imply that he himself has either read the book or is very familiar with its contents.
3 Worlds, okay? He writes about his time in Iraq. He writes about his time in Israel. He writes about his time in the UK.
However, the events that follow prove that Ethan has...
Have you read about 3 Worlds, Ethan? Hasan, have you read about 3 Worlds, Hasan? Don't mind my hands. They're trembling a bit, but you're a coward, Hasan.
No clue what Avi Shlaim's thesis is, nor has he actually read the book. Ethan seems to believe that Avi Shlaim, an anti-Zionist Arab Jew who supports a one-state solution, agrees with him that the exodus of Jews from Iraq and other MENA countries was morally comparable to the Nakba and simply caused by Arab racism and ideological anti-Semitism. But Shlaim actually argues the opposite. In 3 Worlds, he contends that ideological anti-Semitism was a European malady that later infected the Near East. He attributes the hostility toward Jews in Iraq and other MENA countries to the political fallout from European colonialism, the Zionist project, and the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians, not to some ingrained ideological Arab anti-Semitism. Iraq, after all, had a long-standing, well-integrated Jewish community. As I said, Ethan opens this segment by downplaying the Nakba and conflating it with the Jewish exodus from MENA countries. He cites Shlaim to justify this moral flattening, but if he'd just let my video play for a few seconds longer, he'd have seen this direct quote from 3 Worlds, the very book he claims to be familiar with. I want to quote Avi Shlaim once more in regard to this claim. Zionists are driven by the propaganda need to portray the Jews as the victims of endemic Arab persecution, a portrayal that is then used to justify Israel's own atrocious treatment of the Palestinians. A rich, fascinating, and multi-dimensional history is thus reduced to a quest for ammunition to use in the ongoing war against the Palestinians. This trend reached its climax with the manufacture of the narrative of the Jewish Nakba. According to this narrative, the forced exodus of 850,000 Jews from Arab countries after 1948 amounted to a catastrophe, a Jewish Nakba, at least on par with, if not more devastating in its consequences, than the Palestinian Nakba. Variously called the Forgotten Exodus, the Forced Exodus, or the Double Exodus, the purpose of this narrative is to create a false symmetry between the fate of 2 communities. This narrative is not history, it's the propaganda of the victors. Honest history has to acknowledge the part played by all the governments concerned in causing this man-made tragedy. The main difference is that the Palestinian refugees, for the most part, were ethnically cleansed by the Israeli armed forces, whereas Arab Jews, with a few exceptions, were given by the Arab governments the option of leaving or staying. So right off the bat, Shlaim argues against Ethan, and since this specific quote was inconvenient for Klein, he acted as though it didn't exist. I'm fairly certain he saw it because he played a clip of my video and then he quickly turned it off before the quote appeared on the screen. Also, it's literally only 17 pages into the book. Ethan, you only had to actually read one chapter. On the page prior, Avi says that the history of the Mizrahim has been deliberately distorted to serve Zionist propaganda, and Ethan is proving his point. Avi's central argument is that the Zionist movement played a major role in fueling hostility toward Jewish communities in the MENA region, and that the subsequent migration of Jews to Israel should not be equated with the ethnic cleansing of Palestine, as doing so is historically inaccurate. Ethan pulls one quote from Schleim.
He said,
My man looks... I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This guy looks so fucking handsome. He looks like a model. He looks very... he looks like a little twink. A little cute twink.
As doing so is historically inaccurate.
I don't want to call him a twink. Poor guy. He looks pretty buff. But he looks handsome. That's all I'm trying to say. He's a handsome lad, you know. He's very pro-Cuba. I love that shit. That's awesome. I love his video about Che Guevara. Hey, Overzealot, if you find my channel, bro, you are a dope-ass motherfucker. You're dope.
Accurate. Ethan pulls one quote from Schleim.
He said, we did not leave Iraq because we were Zionists. We left because we were no longer safe.
And assumes that Schleim is on his side, but as we will see, this is not true. One thing I want to make abundantly clear before we go any further is that there absolutely was hostility toward Jews in many countries, especially post-1948. This had little to do with ideological anti-Semitism in the genocidal way Europeans exhibited it, and nearly everything to do with geopolitical factors leading to intense nationalism. So although Jewish people may not have been forcefully expelled, and in some instances countries had laws on the books to prevent Jews from leaving, the conditions they were subjected to post-48 were horrible in a lot of instances. To use Iraq as an example, Jews were not forced out at gunpoint, as Ethan kind of implies, and Jewish immigration was actually illegal at one point, but that doesn't change the fact that Jews were subjected to harsh and coercive conditions, fueled by Iraqi anger over the loss of Palestine, resentment towards Zionism and the creation of a settler colony in the Middle East, and the perceived connection between Jews and the British, whose colonial legacy was widely despised in Iraq. It may seem like a small thing I'm harping on here, but it's imperative to understand the distinction between the genocidal ideological anti-Semitism of Europe and the hostility toward Jewish people that arose largely as a response to external political elements in the MENA region. The depth of dishonesty in which Zionists are willing to sink to further their narrative is astonishing. Another example of this is how Ethan lies about the nature of the Iraqi bombings. When Ethan is discussing the false flag bombing campaigns in Iraq, mostly carried out by the Zionists,
Cook 'em, bro. Cook 'em like some rad roach roast. Rad roach roast. I love the game Fallout, yo. I love that like Fallout lore and shit. Like the whole universe and how corporations fucked everything up. Ugh, so good. And like the 1980s style. I would love a 1980s style fucking car. Like, you guys know the cars from Cuba? Like, bro, I would love one of these cars, dude. I would love one of these cars. Cars in Cuba. Cuba's streets are renowned for their vibrant displays of classic American cars, a legacy of pre-revolution import and subsequent U.S. embargo. While these classic cars are iconic, you also see other vehicles, including Russian-made Ladas and more recent imports from China. I would love a classic Cuban car, guys. Like one of these classic American cars, dude. Bro, look at this, man. Look at that sexy-ass yellow car, dude. That's so fucking hot. Oh, my God. Why is Cuba filled with classic cars? Look at that shit. Discover Corp. You guys see this? That's so cool, dude. Like, I really want one of these. Like, if I ever get enough money somehow, if I ever make it rich, bro, I want one of these cars, dude. I want one of these, and I want to, like, fix it up. Like, imagine one of these, but, like retrofitting the whole car to be, like, an electric vehicle, dude. Oh, my God. That would be so fucking cool, dude. If you had one of these, but, like, it was, like, re-engineered to be electric vehicle. Like, I've seen a Ford Bronco like that, like an EV Ford Bronco, but these would be fucking sexy, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, dude. Even this one's kind of cool. This little I don't know what you'll call that. That little oh, that's cute. This little one is kind of cute. This one's kind of cool. It's a classic. I don't know about that one. I don't like that. Ah, here's this one. This guy has an Italian flag. It's got the little bronchitis or whatever that one's called. Look at that one. It's like a little Jeep. Ford 1957. Damn, bro. There's some cool ass vehicles, man. There's some cool vehicles in Cuba. I would like one of these old Cuban vehicles or these old American cars. Look at this guy. Look at that one right here. This one's fucking hot. You know that guy's getting pussy. Here's a guy repairing his car. Man, I want to go to Cuba, bro. I was born there, but I don't remember anything. Like, I was just born there. I was little, you know what I mean? I remember a few things. Like, I had, ooh, wow, yellow. That's so cool. I remember a few things about Cuba. Like, I remember having a little car like this. It was a Stuart Little car. You guys know Stuart Little, the movie? I had this car, the little red car. I remember that, having that as a toy. Oh, wow, look at that big boy. But these are literally like Fallout vehicles. You know what I mean? These are literally Fallout vehicles, dude. These are Fallout vehicles. I want one. I want one so fucking badly. You don't understand how badly I want a Fallout-style Cuban vehicle, dude. Oh, my God. Look at this one, dude. Ooh. That looks so much better than the new vehicles. I'm not gonna lie, dude. That looks so much cooler. Looks all retro and shit. Oh, man. Let's continue, though. Let's continue.
Underground to convince Iraqi Jews to flee the country. Ethan falsely and smugly claims that 100,000 Jews were already registered to leave Iraq before the bombs went off.
Before the bombs went off, 100,000 of the 125 Jews were already registered to leave. Do you want to explain that?
However, this is a blatant lie. Schleim explains how Zionist groups were formed for the expressed purpose to speed up Jewish emigration from Iraq because the turnout of Jews registering to leave Iraq was underwhelming. Following the passage of the denaturalization law, a small group consisting of Israeli envoys and local Zionists was formed to speed up the process of registration and emigration. The response of the Jewish community to the law was slow and hesitant. Only hundreds came forward in the initial phase. The Israeli authorities were seriously disappointed by this response. Consultations took place, and a decision was reached to take action to encourage Jews to give up their Iraqi citizenship. Israel needed the manpower both to build the country and to boost numbers in the army. At the same time, Israel's population was tiny, only 600,000 people, while surrounded by Arab countries with a combined population of tens of millions. There was an urgent need to increase numbers on the Jewish side of the demographic equation. It also says, Zionists exploited the bombing incidents, issuing warnings to the Jews to hurry up and leave the country before it was too late. It's also worth noting that just because someone registered to leave under the denaturalization law didn't mean they actually intended to. Quote, many of the Jews who registered under the law had not finally made up their mind to surrender their Iraqi citizenship. They simply wanted to give themselves a way out should the situation become intolerable. So no, 100,000 Jews were not registered to leave before the bombs. I'm assuming Ethan probably read this Wikipedia article and came across this quote by Moshe Gat that says, just over 105,000 Jews had registered to leave by 8 March, and Ethan probably just stopped his research there. However, if you read the book in which Gat's quote comes from, Gat is referring to the year 1951. The bombing started on April 8th of 1950. Maybe Ethan just quote sniped from the wiki without proper research. That's the only way I can rationalize how he came to that conclusion. Schleim's Three Worlds, the book Ethan was quoting from and lambasting Hasan for not reading, even refutes this claim by explaining that by the end of April 1950, the number of Jews who had registered to leave Iraq was 25,000, so Ethan was off by about 75,000. It's true that the bombings alone are not the sole reason as to why Jews wanted to flee Iraq. They were subjected to horrible conditions in many instances. It's 100% accurate. Avi Schleim concedes that point, but the bombs did play a role. As Avi Schleim put it, there was a direct correlation between the bombings and the rise in the number of applicants to emigrate from Iraq. Schleim alleges that the majority of the bombings were committed by Zionist forces, and they, along with the rest of the bombings, were opportunistically utilized to serve Zionist propaganda. His entire point is that the State of Israel, which claimed to be a safe haven for Jews, was actively harming and harassing Jews across the region to serve the interests of their supremacist project. So when Ethan accuses Hasan of denying the flight of Arab Jews...
You deny the flight, you deny the trauma of Middle Eastern Jews.
I don't deny the flight,
You
Ethan.
absolutely deny the trauma.
You are attributing...
Ethan doesn't understand that Hasan is not denying anything. He's simply pointing out how the flight of Arab Jews ought not be used to offset or diminish the severity of the Nakba, which happens to be Avi Shleim's assessment as well. Now, if you want to argue that Shleim is wrong or his historiography is flawed, that's another conversation. But we're talking about Shleim because Ethan was the one using his book as an authoritative account. Even though Hasan didn't include all of what I just said in this video during his debate, and frankly, Ethan probably wouldn't have been receptive to it at that moment, Hasan's argument that Iraqis are not Palestinians
They're no longer safe.
Iraqis are not Palestinian!
and therefore Palestinians shouldn't be punished for actions taken in Iraq was the appropriate argument to make, in my opinion. Nothing that happened to Jewish people across the MENA region justifies what happened to Palestinians. It doesn't justify the fact that Palestinians were made refugees while Jews from the MENA region were able to settle in Palestine and expropriate Palestinian property. When Ethan reduces Iraqis, Moroccans, Egyptians, Palestinians, and others into a single monolith, calling them simply
fucking Arabs, anti-Semitic Arabs,
he tacitly justifies the crimes committed against Palestinians by lumping them in with other groups and making them pay for the wrongdoings of others. This is also a tactic used by the Zionist project to avoid responsibility for compensating Palestinians for the property they lost and are still owed. Ethan actually does this exact thing in the debate. He equates the loss of Jewish property across the region to the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians and the expropriation of their property.
How would they go back and reclaim their lost assets, their lost property?
Even though the ethnic cleansing of Palestine had already begun well before the Nakba. Quote, Israel came under strong international pressure to allow the 750,000 Palestinians who became refugees in 1948 either to return to their homes or to receive compensation. Israel flatly rejected the right of return. This left the alternative of compensation, but this too, Israel was extremely reluctant to concede. In this context, the idea arose of offsetting the property left behind by the Palestinian refugees against the property of Iraqi Jews. Again, Arab Jews got Palestinian land and property. Palestinians got ethnically cleansed. This is not the same. Also, it's worth mentioning that many of these MENA countries were under European colonial rule during this time. The fact that Ethan actually tries to make this double exodus Jewish Nakba point in both his content nuke and in his debate with Hasan.
You brought that up deliberately to say more Jews were displaced than Palestinians
I think that's
were.
an interesting fact that you clearly don't fucking ever want to mention because it really messes up your beautiful little narrative.
All while citing Avi Shleim, who openly detests this conflation, is a testament to either Ethan's stupidity or his dishonesty. It's important to understand that reducing this issue down to mere Arab anti-Semitism overlooks the actions of all the actors involved and flattens the complexity of the situation in a way that plays a role in justifying what happened to the Palestinians. To show you once more what Shleim said about conflating the Jewish plight with the ethnic cleansing of Palestine, the purpose of this narrative is to create a false symmetry between the fate of two communities. This narrative is not history, it is the propaganda of the victors. The main difference is that the Palestinian refugees, for the most part, were ethnically cleansed by the Israeli armed forces, whereas the Arab Jews, with a few exceptions, were given by the Arab governments the option of leaving or staying. Poor form of Ethan to skip past this while bastardizing Avi Shleim's book. I don't think Avi would approve of this conflation while also claiming that the Arabs were responsible for creating Zionists.
The Arabs created 1 million Zionists because they're anti-Semitic.
In reality, the Zionist project, underway since the 1800s, was one of the factors that contributed to the rise of pan-Arab nationalism, not the other way around. Again, my point here is not that there was no hatred toward Jewish people in the MENA region. It is not that the Iraqi bombings were the sole reason for Jewish flight from Iraq. My point is simply to illustrate how Ethan is an unreliable source on these topics. He cites Avi Shleim, invokes his authority, and then bastardizes his work so thoroughly that he ends up arguing for the exact opposite of Shleim's thesis. The comparison between the Nakba and the Jewish flight to Israel is deeply flawed. The Zionist project had been underway for decades prior, and pan-Arab nationalism was largely a reaction to it, as well as to broader European meddling. Jews who fled MENA countries were able to settle in Palestine and expropriate Palestinian homes and property. Palestinians, on the other hand, were violently displaced, denied return, and are still denied that right to this day. These are asymmetrical situations, and trying to force a false equivalence between them amounts to Nakba denialism. Anyway, this shit is agonizing to go through, but before I end the video, I want to quickly move to another topic that Ethan and Hasan briefly touched on, the comparison between Israel-Palestine and apartheid South Africa. I don't want to get into the whole would Nelson Mandela support violent resistance debate. It feels kind of awkward and distracts from the more important point, which is the conditions in apartheid South Africa were significantly different from what we see in Palestine today. As Noam Chomsky argued, the conditions Palestinians are subjected to are worse and more violent than those imposed on the indigenous people of South Africa. The black population in South Africa was relied upon for labor, whereas the Palestinian population is treated by the Israeli state as something to be done away with. And if you don't want to accept that argument from Chomsky because he didn't live under apartheid, then take it from Desmond Tutu, the South African bishop who said that what Israel does to Palestinians is, in many instances, worse than what occurred in South Africa. The Bantustans weren't routinely bombed, nor were they systematically targeted by snipers. There was absolutely violence and horrific, unforgivable atrocities committed against the black population of South Africa, but they were still needed alive for labor. They didn't experience the kind of regular, indiscriminate assaults that Palestinians face today, the so-called mowing of the lawn. This difference alone makes the Nelson Mandela comparison inapplicable in my opinion. The conditions Palestinians are subjected to are far more violent, and as a result, the response is bound to be more violent as well. It's an unfortunate reality, but the blame ultimately lies with the occupying force. Those who maintain apartheid structures and uphold an oppressive system are responsible for the violence that system produces. As Frantz Fanon wrote in the opening line of The Wretched of the Earth, decolonization is always a violent event. Anyway, I am done talking about Ethan Klein unless he responds to one of my videos. Funnily enough, the only one who responded to the last one was the fucking cartoon guy. So, I mean, good on him.
Damn.
What if you can create your...
Thank you, Overzealots. We love you, man. Take it easy out there. Let's watch... Oh, ICE is stealing kids? Oh, my God. I can't see that shit right now. I can't see that right now. I gotta take a break. It's so sad. Let's check out Bad Empanada. Bad... Bad empanada. Bad empanadilla? Is it bad empanadilla or is it bad empanada? What the fuck's an empanada? I thought it was empanadilla. Or are these the same words but like said in different dialects of Spanish? I'm assuming maybe. Yeah, he has a video about Hasan being arrested or some shit. Let me see. Does he have other channels or some shit? Canal en español. He has a Spanish channel, dog. He has a Spanish channel. Wow.
So Hasan Piker was yesterday.
This man is on the grind. This man is on the grind. Keep up the assault on the fascist. Bad
Detained by American. So Hasan Piker was yesterday detained by American Customs and Border Police when he attempted to re-enter the USA. He was asked questions that suspiciously resemble the exact same talking points that Ethan Klein has been using to attack.
Literally every question they asked him was literally the fucking Hasan debate.
Him and basically every pro-Palestinian activist in the world for the better part of a year. And something that really fell under the radar here is that Ethan Klein about a month ago explicitly called for Hasan to be arrested and actually asked a lawyer live on his podcast what they could possibly do to get Hasan arrested for supposed terrorism. This is from the H3 podcast, episode 132, streamed live on April 7th, 2025.
Any laws that we can go after Hasan for? Are you familiar with that? Has he broken any domestic terror laws or... No, probably not domestic terror laws, but like inciting. I mean, what can we do about that?
Yeah, that's out of my realm.
Fair
I
enough.
usually do just civil stuff.
Sure, fair
you know?
enough. Fair enough. You're useless to me, Tom.
I'm sorry.
Ethan Klein has, for months now, been attempting to blame literally everyone for inciting Child Protective Services coming to his house. You know, Child Protective Services checking on his kids. He's been framing that as if it was like a swatting. And none of the people who he's accused of that ever even remotely called for that to happen. Not that it would be such a huge thing as he's framing it if they did. Yet here he is, live on camera, directly calling for Hasan Piker to be arrested for supposed terrorism. And a month later, Hasan Piker is detained and questioned with Ethan Klein's very same talking points, treated like a terrorist. By the standard that Ethan Klein uses to blame people for, to be clear again, what is not even a bad thing, an agency dedicated to protecting children checking on his kids, he is immensely responsible for this. It's very clear that his talking points, via their spread in the far-right spheres that he is now allied with, have found their way to the Trump administration, and they are now literally being used to arrest pro-Palestine people in precisely the way that Ethan and his terrorist wife, Gila Klein, would like them to be. Ethan and Gila are massive enthusiasts of the genocide in Gaza and the mass rape by the IDF, which again, Gila was a member of. So this is not at all surprising. Just listen to what Hasan had to say about his experience here, and you can really see the similarities between what they were asking him and Ethan Klein's talking points. You can see, for example, in what they asked him about the supposed Houthi terrorist who he interviewed, which is a narrative that comes directly from Ethan Klein, and which, hilariously, the border agent seems to have been able to understand was not actually an interview with a Houthi at all, as Ethan has constantly insisted that it was. So even agents of the Donald Trump Gestapo, which is literally dedicated to tracking down and deporting pro-Palestinian immigrants, are more nuanced than Ethan Klein is.
Yeah, literally.
One thing that I will take note of that I thought was very interesting was the fact that a lot of the shit that like the Ethan Kleins of the world have like cried about over and over again were unironically brought up in that conversation. And I was shocked. Okay. Not like the bleach sword, obviously, but like the Houthi. Like, did you interview a Houthi? It says here that you interviewed a Houthi. And I was like, or was he actually a Houthi? And I was like, he's not. You can look to all of the reporting that came out afterwards and before I interviewed him, that he is not a he's not a Houthi, that he is a regular Yemeni citizen. And I said, like, his name is Rashid al-Haddad. He is not even a Shia. And the dude, luckily, again, Iraqi, went, oh, yeah, that's right. That's a Sunni last name. Al-Haddad is a Sunni last name. So he must not have been a Houthi. And the very fact that that was like a point of contention that could have gotten me arrested is insane. And I genuinely, in that moment, was thinking, like, these dumbass slop tubers are actually playing with fire. Yep. And I even thought about not even mentioning this because I was like, I don't want to give him any sort of like power over the situation. But like the reality of the matter is 100% the Trump administration is inadvertently working with a lot of these dipshits. These dipshits are playing a formative role in getting people in trouble with the law. Okay?
So my reason for making this video is to draw attention to the fact that Ethan Klein, aside from inventing these ridiculous talking points, which are now very clearly being weaponized by the Trump administration, you know, I'm not saying he literally talked to the Trump administration, but certainly in their research into pro-Palestinian activists who are on their shit list, they have been perusing slop tubers like Ethan Klein. The talking points come straight from him. And particularly, I want to bring attention to the fact that he literally directly called for this to happen. He directly called for this to happen in such an explicit way before it happened. This is a guy who, again, has been blaming people for calling CPS on him or for being responsible for CPS being called on him, which, again, is the U.S. State Agency of Child Protection. Their job is to check on your kids and ensure their well-being. Whereas,
yeah, like, he thinks other people called CPS. And not that Ethan Klein just talked about having shit all over the ground and having giardia out of nowhere for some reason on an episode. That wasn't what got him in trouble. It's that other people called CPS. This motherfucker can never take accountability for his own fucking actions.
As the cops who questioned Hasan detained and questioned him for the same reasons that the Nazis would detain and question someone. These things are not even comparable. Yet Ethan Klein blamed people who never said anything remotely as explicit as he did for that CPS call, which isn't even serious, is nowhere near as big of a thing as he keeps claiming that it is. Yet an actual, huge fucking horrible thing being done to someone who he has been slandering for months in the name of endorsing Israeli genocide and mass rape in Gaza. For that, we have clear evidence of him directly attempting to get this to happen to Hasan. He literally said it on his podcast. Now, Ethan Klein is already afraid to go out in public. He said this on the podcast before. This man is so...
Remember these names, y'all. These are the names of the people who helped do this to Hasan. Basically, all of the H3, you know, the co-workers, basically the whole H3 crew.
Hated by the general population, by normal people, because of his advocacy for the genocide in Gaza, that now he is literally afraid to do something as simple as drive to the barber and get a haircut in case he's accosted for his pro-genocide position.
Well, you need a special, but you're shaving your head. Go to Supercuts.
I don't go in public.
What?
You could get someone to...
You could go to Supercuts right now.
We're
and be done in
loyal
10
to the
minutes.
You understand about I don't go in public.
No.
What a fucking weirdo, and what a weirdo antisocial fucking Zionist genocidal supporter.
He's right, Dan.
And to that I say, good. You support genocide. What do you expect? And now that your open calls for the arrest of people who are against the genocide that you support have resulted in the action that you so called for, I can only say it's even more deserved than it was before.
Legal notice. If Ethan Klein fails to sue me for defamation, he is acknowledging that everything said in this video is true and factual. Yo, Bad Empanada's trying to get sued, but he knows he probably knows he has a case. He knows he has a case. He knows he's gonna destroy Ethan Klein if Ethan Klein sues, because Ethan Klein's being sued by Denims already.
Over 4 million players and counting have joined the endless battle.
Alright, y'all, there's gonna be the last video for today that I'm gonna watch. This is Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel. Rachel. Free Palestine.
Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus in the past 2 years, fighting against fearsome foes with legendary factions, champions, and machines of war.
Shut the fuck up.
Certain ones just stick in your head and you just think about your own children. And so silence wasn't a choice for me.
Beloved children's creator and educator Miss Rachel, who is often referred to as the modern-day Mr. Rogers, or for Canadians, the modern-day Mr. Dressup, is opening up in a recent interview with Mehdi Hasan on her support for children in Gaza. This is after a full year of attacks from right-wing groups aligned with the Israeli government, including a new one that I will get to in a bit here. So I want to highlight this story because I haven't discussed the attacks on Miss Rachel yet, largely because I've tried to avoid just the complete disappointment I have in humanity over these attacks, because Miss Rachel is such a good person, both in terms of the content that she puts out, but also you can tell the stuff that she fights for, putting herself on the line to speak out on what's been happening in Gaza, when it would have been so easy for her to simply ignore this. As somebody who works in a apolitical space, you know, children's content is not typically viewed as heavy material. But being willing to put herself out there and her reputation out there in standing up for what she knows is right, I think she deserves so much credit for doing that. And I want to share a couple of clips from the interview that she had with Mehdi Hasan. So first, just to lay some basic facts about what's been going on and what's been driving her her desire to speak out on this. From the UN here, more than 1 million children in Gaza deprived of aid for over a month. This is a story from April. And that intentional starving of children in Gaza is now into its 3rd month. So, as Common Dreams writes here, in addition to cutting off deliveries of humanitarian supplies, the Israeli military has continued its attacks on food distribution facilities inside Gaza, further complicating efforts to aid the enclave's starving population. UN officials, human rights groups, and the International Criminal Court have accused Israeli leaders of using starvation as a weapon of war in Gaza.
Yeah, no shit. We've been seeing this shit for like a whole year now. They've been blocking food and aid.
And just some figures worth noting here from the UN. At least 100 children are reported killed or injured every day in Gaza since the strikes resumed on March 18th. Young lives cut short in a war not of children's making. Since the war began 1.5 years ago, 15,000 children were reportedly killed. Let me get to Miss Rachel now. So this was almost exactly a year ago. No, actually, exactly a year ago. This video was put out with Save the Children. So Miss Rachel has been working with Save the Children to get a message out and try to raise money for children in Gaza. Let me just play a bit of this.
It came to me this morning called Messages of Love to Children for Children, and I'm wondering if I can get your help with it. Please tag Cameo in the comments so we can make this happen together. The idea is I'll make videos for little ones, and all the money raised on my end will go to Save the Children's Emergency Fund, which will go to children living in conflict, Gaza, Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ukraine. Hopefully I can make little ones smile.
That is so fucking sweet, dude. Oh my gosh. She's literally giving money to all the places that are suffering.
By giving them a personal video, and then the money will go to help more children living in unimaginable circumstances.
So what comes off to me as a very innocent message, this is someone that wants to help children faced in or facing conflict in anywhere in the world, Gaza being one of those conflicts. And this led to massive backlash, largely propagated by far-right pro-Israel groups. And of course, people jumping onto that bandwagon at the time. So just headline here from NBC. Viral Kids creator Miss Rachel says she experienced bullying after fundraising for children in Gaza. And that's born out of this video here. I'll just play a bit of this.
It's so bad. It's so bad. But I can handle this. Saying I don't care about all kids is like, it just hurts so bad. That is who I am. I love my neighbor. I love every child. Imagining for 1 second what a mom is going through, unable to feed her child, or give her child clean water, or keep her child safe. I can do this. I can do this. The bullying is...
So, you know, I've had a hard... This is why I've avoided this story up until now. Just seeing people who are uniquely
evil,
good people.
Evil people attacking her, bro. Fucking Zionist pieces of fucking trash.
This kind of backlash for doing what is right is just so disheartening. And this story from a month ago. So these, you know, this bullying has gone on for, you know, off and on for about a year. Now it's gone even further. Pro-Israel group asks DOJ to investigate Miss Rachel over posts on Gaza children. Stop Anti-Semitism, which is just a pro-Israel propaganda group, questions if beloved children's entertainer acted as a foreign agent to spread propaganda.
This is how my co-founder and I
so fucking stupid, dude.
Quit our jobs and created 200 ramen recipes from our kitchen. Meet us.
Like the most ridiculous fucking world we're living in. Like,
speaking out on behalf of children suffering in Gaza is somehow propaganda to an actual propaganda group, which is Stop Anti-Semitism, which that isn't their goal. Their goal is to defend the Israeli government as they commit war crimes. I mean, their leaders are under arrest warrants for starvation, for crimes against humanity. It's just this story is just incredibly frustrating. I want to play a couple of clips from this interview. So I watched the full thing. I want to be clear. This is paywalled, so I'm not going to share anything that isn't public already. But if you do want to watch the full interview with Miss Rachel on Zeteo, you can Go check it out. I will link to it below the video. Of course, you'll have to pay to subscribe, but I will share a couple of clips. And one of them, the second one, is a bit of a tearjerker because she discusses the stuff that she's seen and just giving you a warning there. But here's the first clip.
You have 2 kids of your own. Is that why you decided to speak out about what's happening in Gaza, specifically with children in Gaza, because of what's happening to the kids there?
I do think being a mother makes you put yourself in that situation. And I think my background in early childhood makes me think about that crucial brain development time of 0 to 3. So if you're being malnourished and you're seeing trauma and you're losing your family, that's a really crucial time of brain development. So I think about that. And then I think just empathy for all kids, which I've always had.
Is it something you followed always, or did you also, like millions of other Americans, come to this via social media, just seeing these horrific, tragic videos?
So I had been working with Save the Children prior. When the show became successful, I got an agent, and my agent was like, tell me about what you want to do. And I was like, I want to be connected to charities, and I want to do work helping children. So I got involved with Save the Children.
Great charity.
Yeah, and I was learning from their team and their CEO about a lot of things going on with children here in the US, food insecurity. I was learning about the Congo. She had just come back from there, and they asked me if I wanted to have a meeting with her, and I wanted to learn about that. And I just asked, like, what is a day like for kids there? And then she was in Gaza, and she came back, and they said, would you want to meet from her and hear what it's like for kids there? And I was like, definitely. So I heard from her, and I knew she was there, and she was describing what was happening firsthand. And then, of course, I did see the distressing, horrific images online. And of course, certain ones just stick in your head, and you just think about your own children. And so,
yeah, dude,
silence.
I remember a video, bro. I think I saw this video on like the Cult of Dusty Smith's channel. Thank you, Dusty. Shout out, bro. But like, oh my god, dude. It was literally like, you know how in Team Fortress 2 you shoot a rocket at the ground and like the force of the rocket pushes you up so you can rocket jump? Dude, this video was literally of like a IDF missile, you know, like hitting a fucking building. And you see a person, it's kind of far away, but you see a person getting launched into the air. Like really fucking high up. You know he's gonna die when he hits the ground. And like, that's the kind of shit that's so fucked up, bro. Like, they're literally killing, like, they're just murdering people for all different types of weaponry and with food and with water. And then, like, bro, I even saw another one with, like, there was a kid on a fucking building, right? A missile hits the building, it blows up, and the kid gets launched to another building, like the top of another building. Like the force of the missile literally launches him across. Like, imagine all the people that have just been flung around with all these fucking 2,000-pound bombs. Like, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up, man.
This wasn't a choice for me.
Silence wasn't a choice for me.
It's so fucked up.
The reality is, it was a choice. She could have not said anything. She could have done what a lot of people in her space do, a lot of people with apolitical platforms, a lot of actors, musicians, whoever, choose to not say anything. Miss Rachel put herself out there, did the right thing because she realized she could not go on in the space that she works in without standing up for what is right. And she deserves a lot of credit for doing that when so many people are not willing to do that. I think it's important for people like me to counteract the negativity that someone like Miss Rachel sees in, you know, for doing the right thing. It's important for us to speak out on behalf of her and highlight how brave it is for someone like this to do what she does. So again, all the credit in the world to Miss Rachel for being willing to speak out on this. And I got one more clip. Again, this one made me tear up, just letting you know. She tears up as well, but it's worth watching.
I know there are things I've seen that I will never be able to unsee since in the last 18 months. I just wonder, was there one particular thing about a child? I don't know. I know you've posted about a lot of individual children,
definitely.
but before you started posting about children reaching out, I do want to come to some of the children you've connected with. But I'm interested in that moment in those few months after October 7th when our feeds were just crazy. I'm just wondering, as someone who's just an ordinary American, not Miss Rachel, the YouTube creator, was there something that just stopped you in your tracks?
There are multiple that I can't forget. There was a little boy who was really shocked and he was shaking, and his eyes were just, there was so much terror in his eyes, and a healthcare worker.
Bro, I think I know what she's talking about, dude. I think I know what she's talking about. I feel like she's talking about. I feel like she's talking about. I feel like she's talking about I think he was in Hins Hall. I swear he was probably in Hins Hall. I think I seen the baby. I think I know what she's talking about, dude. Oh, that ain't it. That ain't the video. Where's the music video for Hins Hall? Where's the fucking music video, dude? I want the music video. I'm gonna show you who I think she's talking about. I'm not sure. But is the music video? Oh, it's here. It might be in the first video. I think it's this guy. I think it's this little baby, man. This little baby, bro. I feel like it's this baby, dude. This one right here. I think it's this baby. He's very shocked. He's all like... I think she's talking about that baby, dude. I swear, man.
Was being so compassionate, and you see that compassion, and he finally was able to cry because he was just so shocked he couldn't even cry. And then Hindra Job's voice on the phone.
Yes.
I'll never forget. And I know some people can't even listen because it's so hard.
Hindra Job. That's what this whole song is based on, bro. Hins Hall. Hins Hall, bro.
But, and I think that's, that's so understandable, but as just, her voice, and a little boy who was staring at the wall who had lost his whole family and just was staring. And then there was a little, oh my gosh, sorry, a child in like a rainbow onesie. And my daughter has a rainbow onesie, and I had to give it away because, you just see that and it just doesn't make any sense, because as grown-ups, we know what children need and what they deserve and what will help them grow into happy, healthy adults. And it will benefit us all. It's right to speak out because this is wrong, but it's also right to speak out because it's going to benefit everyone.
As someone whose kid grew up watching Miss Rachel, at least his first
God damn, bro, this is so emotional. Holy shit.
few years, learning new words, pronunciations, Miss Rachel was on all the time in our house. To learn that Miss Rachel's also a really good person and is actually impacted and by the videos that she saw and has real empathy, it's so good to hear, because often it's the opposite. Somebody that we watch or used to watch, we learn later on, oh, they're actually a horrible
they're evil. Yeah. I'm glad she's
person, or they associate with terrible people. That's usually the case. This time, though, it's the opposite. And it's so good to learn that Miss Rachel is as wholesome in real life as she is in her YouTube videos. So again, all the credit in the world to Miss Rachel for continuing to stand up and discuss this issue despite, the past year of bullying. She has not relented. Good on her. And again, anyone with a platform out there who whether it's on YouTube or whatever, is afraid of speaking out and saying something, don't be afraid. Most of us are not insane. There will be people that will come out to defend you and be on your side, and a lot of the hate you receive will be from bot farms and people who are not actually people. So again, it's not controversial to acknowledge the reality of what is going on with the war crimes being committed. It should be noted, it's not a controversial position to acknowledge reality. So that said, I will link to the full interview with Miss Rachel below the video on Zateo if you want to check the whole thing out.
All right, y'all. Check out Zateo. They're a great media company.
How to make your home smell amazing.
Fuck up. Check out Zateo. They're very good. I supported them when they first started. I mean, I stopped giving to them because I'm broke. But they're great. Thank you, Mark Farrell. Thank you, Mark Farrell, for following me, dude. We gotta get into contact. I would love to, join you guys. Maybe we can collab. We can talk about Cuba or something. I don't know. I'm gonna end it here, guys. I am like really crying and shit. Everything is just all out of whack. But I love you guys so much, man. Take it easy out there. Check out Zateo. Check out Miss Rachel. Check out the Rational National. Check out Hasan. Support Hasanabi. What else? Support Overzealots. And support my channel, or give me a sub, give me a like, whatever you guys want to do will help out. Thank you so much for your support. I love you guys so much. Whatever, I don't care. I'm not like a greedy guy, so I take whatever I can get. I love you guys. Take it easy, man. Support each other. Take care. Fuck ICE. Fuck La Migra. Bye bye. Love y'all.